So this is Advanced Training May 4th, and welcome to Advanced Training. I just finished all my opening comments with, all the hot updates and all the different things that we have going on, all the promotions. Your training class sold $21,000 so far for your first few days on the job. And we have most people hit their first promotion. We have a few of you hit your second promotion. The number one person out of your training class and from the Metro Miami team, though, hit all 4 promotions this weekend over a $10,000 weekend. So really exciting, a lot of hot updates out of your training seminar. I want to go ahead and start off our training just by just helping you know that even though there's a lot of really hot updates right now, you've only been doing it for 2 days. Only been doing it for 2 days. You left training Friday late night. You had all day Saturday, Sunday, and now we're here on Monday. So it's really like 2.5 days. And here's what's cool. No matter where you are, we've had people leave advanced training, and they were only at $1,000 for their first weekend, $900 their first weekend, and still finished off a $13,000 fast start. Check this out. This one's my favorite. Ben, he was from New Mexico. He only sold $92 by midnight on Monday. He was only at $92 by midnight on Monday and still sold 11 grand. He left this advanced training and sold 6K in his next 4 days. And then finished off another 5 grand that week, the following weekend, and had $11,000 fast start. For you, that's Mother's Day next weekend. What mom wants, mom gets. That's exciting. You're going into a very exciting weekend, so be ready for that. We have individuals between the 1 and 2,000 finished off over $15,000. Nick from Marietta, he was only at $2 grand, $1,900, finished off at $15,000. So right where you are, Jacob, he finished off at $15,000 leaving this advanced training, right? If you're between that 2 and 3K mark, right? $10,000 fast starts. If you're between 2 and 3 grand, $10,000 fast starts. Between 3 and 6, so Katie and Elon, you're on pace right now for a $17,000 to $20,000 fast start. So it's got to start in your mind. So I wanted to introduce you to Mr. Jeff Gamboa. Jeff Gamboa is our division manager. He's going to offer you a couple of thoughts. He runs the division. Andrew Evans is our divisional coordinator who runs the division with Mr. Gamboa. He's just going to share a couple of quick thoughts, couple of minutes, and then I'm going to take back over. Be ready to take some pen and paper out. This gentleman, just so you know, he's at over $80 million in Cutco sales. $80 million. He started selling Cutco in 1997. He was the #1 sales rep in the whole country his first summer. Graduated pre-med from University of Maryland with 15 options, 15 job offers post-college graduation. He wanted to just share with you some perspective going into your advanced training. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Mr. Jeff Gamboa.
Okay, welcome back to Advanced Training, everybody. It's great to have you here. Jeff Gamboa, Division Manager. I wanted to share a few thoughts, and I first want to say, after your first weekend of doing appointments, welcome back. But just like your manager probably spent the last few minutes covering, there are a lot of hot updates and a lot of things that are happening that are positive, from first sales, first appointments completed, first promotions, invitations to our sales leadership development meeting, people's first sponsorships, and so forth and so forth. And I want to start off and be able to kick off your advanced training with a few thoughts from kind of above, and not directly in the mix of who's training you, not your district or your branch manager, but from the division manager who's done this for 20 plus years, from the division manager who has trained hundreds of people, from the division manager who sold over $76,000 in my first summer and was able to finish off as the #1 rep in the whole company. I can tell you there's a lot of things that I can share, and there's a thing or two I can give you perspective on that can really shape and mold a really successful next 3, next 6, and more importantly, as you finish your fast start, your next 10 days to finish your fast start strong. So just a couple of things. It's so great to have all the positive things that your manager just mentioned. And I want to start off by saying that every session you come to, from the second day of training, this is appropriate, to where you're coming to now, Advanced Training 1 here on Monday, to Advanced Training 2 on Wednesday, you'll always have 3 things that you'll be learning and 3 things that will be getting done every single time while you're here in your fast start. The first thing is we'll always help you get more knowledge, how to get better at the job, more sales, more recommendations, more comfort, you name it. The second thing we'll always help you get is more appointments. And that's the purpose of what is probably just finishing up and that's your phone jam, every time you go to the office, you should be setting up more appointments so that you leave into action, and more importantly, your next 3 days are booked. And then the third thing you always want to be concentrating on that we'll always be teaching is how to get more friends on the team, how to build your bonuses, how to win the prizes of all the different personal recruiting levels you can win. And of course, for those of you that are really shooting for the bigger numbers, how do you win the trip? And so, again, skills, more appointments, and more friends on the team, more personal recruits. You can count on that. In fact, this is no different. We just started with a phone jam. We're going to instruct you now with some skills that are really going to get you excited to get back out there for the next part of your Fast Start contest. And then, of course, we'll wrap up with how to get more friends on the team. And your manager's going to do something a little bit different to get you, again, more people towards the credit and more towards the levels. So a couple things, some perspective. If you could just write down a few things, and I'm going to come back at you towards the middle part of advanced training with some more instruction, but just some perspective if I could, please. And I first want to talk about the customers. I want you to write down 20, 20, and 60. 20, 20, and 60. 20% of the people that a representative shows their first weekend, and that includes all the students working in every office in Florida United, and really in all of Cutco, 20% of Cutco customers for a first weekend student will always buy. No matter what, no matter how great, or in many cases, how bad a presentation is. And it's because of the power of the product that 20% will buy. It's the power of the presentation when done properly. Or you showed the right people, the top 5 or top 10 on your list that really just were tied into you and we're going to buy because of your enthusiasm and the excitement and more importantly, the relationship with you. So 20% we don't really have any control over. So if you think of it that way, I guess in a nice way, there are some sales that just were going to happen regardless of you. And if you know that, it's really good to know, because then there's the opposite 20%. That next 20%, no matter what we do, no matter how great the presentation is, how perfect your 7 steps to the sale are, how perfect your closing can be, doing all the things right, best deal ever, Mrs. Jones, here it is, you're still not going to make a sale. And that is a 20% that's out of our control, whether it's customer psychology, things that are going on that we can't control. There might have been a dramatic spending investment that just happened that causes great buyer's remorse, something to that effect. We can't control that. So the most important thing to remember, 2 things on the 20%, is that we can't control it. And then number 2, it's only 20% that we can't control. It's only 20% that are out of our hands. It's only 20% that are not going to buy no matter what. So what that means, leftover is at 60%. And here's the most exciting part, and this is why I can't wait for you to get involved in advanced training today. Why I can't wait for you to get out there and do more appointments. Why we can't, as a management team, can't wait for you to experience the next and second phase of your training. And that's the 60% of the people you see your first weekend are potential sales. But it depends on 4 factors. Rep confidence.
This is what we're
if the
going to
rep
talk
is
about
confident.
today.
2,
Confident.
enthusiasm. What comes across to the customer. Number 3, skill sets, tips, techniques, things they can do. And number 4, experience from the representative. And here's the great thing. 60%, more than half of the sales that were maybe no sales this past weekend are all potential sales once we give you the full instruction. 60%, more than half of who you showed, and in this case you add on the people who will buy, 80% are potential customers. You just need more skills, you just need more confidence, and you just need more repetition. So that's what's great. The best is yet to come. And your manager probably said this, you've only been doing this for 2.5, maybe 3 days. You got a chance just to see some fast start charts of people who have started off with a decent fast first weekend, a really nice explosive first start to their career, and people who have sold less than $1,000, one knife or so, and are still able to pull off even a 10K fast start. So I just want to give you confidence that the best is yet to come. The instruction from today, as you talk and on your coaching calls to your manager, on your one-on-one calls when you check in, your advanced training 2 on Wednesday, and the duration of your fast start, which is really the full length of your training, you can count on multiple customers who would have been no your first weekend. We're going to turn those into yeses. So get really excited for today. Also, 10-80-10 applies to the first weekend. And this is a concept that a lot of managers will talk about. 10%, 80%, 10%. 10% of the people who do this job their first weekend or the first 10 days or a push week competition will always perform at a high above average level. On the opposite end, 10% of the people who do this job first weekend, their first 10 days, push week contest, doesn't matter, we'll always perform below, and then 80% will be average in between. And the same is very true with everyone that sold Cutco this first weekend in our Florida United division and across the company with Cutco. 10, 80, 10. So if you keep that in mind, if you fall on the higher end, how do you keep it going? More appointments and stay consistent. If you fell to the bottom, no worries. We're going to train you. We've got confident programs that will help you. And if you're in that 80%, how do you slowly but surely add more skills, more confidence, more techniques to get better and better at the job? Reminder, you've only been doing this for 2.5, 3 days. So keep that in mind. There are 3 types of reps. There are reps that sell the 3 bigger sets, which is the Homemaker, the Signature, Complete. They sell those 3 sets, or they sell absolutely nothing because they're not really good at dropping down and presenting the rest of the options. We're going to cover that today. The other type of rep, the second type of rep, is a rep that sells pieces only, right? And we talked about selling customer sets is the way to go because it's the right tool for the right job. It's going to be discounted. It's safer because it's in a wood block. It comes with free stuff, and of course, my favorite part, they have the investment options. Sets are better for customers, but these are students who they'll sell pieces only because they're not good enough, and they're not good yet, rather, at trying to explain those sets. And then the third type of rep is the rep that we're going to have you become, whether you're already there now, top 10%, you're nowhere near there, bottom 10%, or maybe you're in between and you're on your way. In your first 10 days, we're going to get you to be the rep that we want you to be. It's the rep that knows how to go through a full presentation, work with customers, sell all types of sets from the Signature, Homemaker, Complete on the high end, all the way down to some type of a starter set, but they're really good at closing sets. They utilize the management team to call in for specials, and they're getting better and better at the job. And that's what we're going to help you become here. And this next part of training, Advanced Training 1, is going to help you do that. Okay? 4 things to remember. If all goes south, if all goes to you know what, if you will.
Okay. So just to kind of piggyback off of what Mr. Gamboa is saying here, okay, and then we'll do some debrief and light bulbs, okay? So the first thing Mr. Gamboa is saying is the 20-20-60 principle, all right? Belief in the product, enthusiasm, skill set, and confidence, okay? I know he said, experience, as far as like, one of the things is like repetition, but I'm going to kind of say that these are really the big 4, okay? Belief in the product, enthusiasm, skill set, confidence. This is what today is about. I'm not here to tell you how to sell Cutco to the people who are always going to buy Cutco. That's dumb. And I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about how to sell Cutco to the people that are never going to buy Cutco, because that's even more dumb. I want to focus on the 60% that you actually have the ability to influence. Wouldn't you agree? That's probably the most intellectual place to begin, right? So that's what we're going to focus on right now for the next, maybe 90 minutes or so. Strap in, because that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about everything that has to do with belief, has to do with your enthusiasm, your skill set, and your confidence. I want to start off with this. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth right now, okay? Expectations create reality. And I had a conversation with Caden about this today. Expectations create your reality. It starts up here before it happens out there. So I just need you to understand something. When I talk about belief in your product, I'm not just saying belief in Cutco. I'm talking about belief in what it really means to market Cutco. Think about what it means to market Cutco. A product that they can buy one time, use it every single day, never ever have to replace it, and it will actually save them money in the process of owning it. Ladies and gentlemen, think about any consumer product on planet Earth, any consumer product that you can buy once. Let me even draw this out for you. Okay, so that you could buy once, you use every day. That's your shoes, that's your computer, that's your phone, any consumer product, and never replace. Well, all of those have to be replaced. TV, refrigerator, washer and dryer, bedroom set, clothes, all of it has to be replaced. And S actually saves money because you don't have to replace it over again. You could eat out less. You could cook at home more. You could buy whole foods, cut them up yourself. It literally saves money. So what's the power of your product? What do I mean by belief in your product? You're not selling Cutco. What you're really selling is buns. No, nobody? Maybe? All right. Buy once, use every day, never replace. Katie liked it. Thank you for the courtesy chuckle. I appreciate it, Kate. You're selling buns. Why was my dad, when I told my dad I was going to sell Cutco, he thought I was an idiot. But he's like, you don't know how to sell. You're not good with people. But when I explained to him the buy once, use every day, never replace, and it saves money, that I went into my mom's kitchen knife drawer and I showed all the knives that mom already has and how none of them really work well. And he already spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on knives that don't work. I said, if you don't buy Cutco today, that's fine, but you're eventually going to have to replace the knives anyway. You might as well do it now and enjoy the benefits of the product, because the sooner you buy it, the sooner you could enjoy the benefits of it. He said, that makes sense. What gets somebody to buy anything? It needs to make sense. So what makes sense is buns. You literally can suck at selling Cutco, but be really good at just explaining the concept of buns to yourself, not to your customer, but to you. If you ever say someone can't afford Cutco, you're out of your damn mind. Why? Watch. It's just numbers. It's math. If I want to go buy $3,000 in Cutco, you might say, oh my God, $3,000, a large order. That's a lot of money. How long is that $3,000 going to last them? Let's say 30 years, okay? 30 years they have this Cutco for easy math. That means they're going to, that is what? $100 per year to own Cutco. $100 a year to own that set of Cutco. Over 12 months in a year. What is that? What is that? $8? $8 a month? $8 a month? What is that? How many weeks are in a month? 4 weeks? $2 a week? $2 a week for $3,000 in Cutco. That's all it is. You literally could find $2 a week in your couch cushions. $2 a week. So when I say belief in your product, when I'm saying belief in your product, this is what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with affordability. Ladies and gentlemen, they're going to spend $3,000 on a fridge that only lasts them 10 years. Shit, they're going to spend, you know how much money they're going to spend on cable? Cable and internet. At least $100 a month. At least $100 a month. If they're spending $100 a month on cable and internet from age 25 to 75, that's 50 years, they're spending $60,000 on cable and internet. 60 grand. We're talking $3,000 in Cutco. $3,000 in Cutco is $2 a week for 30 years. What is a $300 order then? Literally, it's like free. What is a $300 order? That's $10 a year. What is that a month? That's even less. Are we understanding this? When I say believe in your product, it has nothing to do with affordability. It's literally the only product on planet Earth that satisfies buy once, use every day, never replace, saves money. And it's literally free. They just pay for it up front and they have it forever. There's one or two of you that are like, this is humorous. There's one or two of you like, preach, Mike, I need to hear this. And the rest of you, I can't tell what you're thinking right now. I'm cursed. I almost cursed. I already caught myself. So I get passionate. Sometimes. But what shows up for some of you? 30 cents a day. Nice, Katie. Hell yeah. It's like a quarter and a dime a day. It's literally free. So talk to me. What's showing up? Let's get some conversation going real fast. Is this landing? Is this making sense? Oh, you can unmute yourself. Let's go. There's only a few of us here.
So you don't really think about how much that you can actually save and invest in paying monthly like that. So me personally, when I first got this job, I was over here like, damn, this thing is so expensive. How am I supposed to make other people want to buy it if I myself would struggle buying it? But then
Who's
when you break
talking
it
right
down
now?
like that, Autumn, hi.
Oh, your video's not on. That's right. I'm like, who the hell? I'm like, I see
Me.
zero mouths moving. And
Yeah, because I'm at work, but I'm still
I
listening.
got it. I got it. That was, I appreciate that, Autumn. You're absolutely right. So at first you're like, this is so expensive. And then it's like, when you see it broken down, you're like,
Oh, it's not that bad.
it's literally like free, except they pay for it up front. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm paying for it now, but over my lifetime, it's free. So when you ask them, do you want to buy Cutco? It's really, do you want to get your free Cutco that pays for itself or over a lifetime? You just got to put a deposit down now, and then over your lifetime, it pays for itself. Like, how easy is it to sell that? But it's got to start up here. So don't act, think, or speak like a broke college kid or high school kid. That's the same thing with recommendations. It's belief in you, not your product. What's your product? You. How could you expect them to give you less than 5? Like, how could they not give you at least 5? Literally, that's their mom, that's their sister, that's their husband's mom, their husband's sister, and their best friend. Literally, that's 5 people. If you don't get 5 recommendations from every appointment, you're going to make me want to punch myself in the face. Because it's like, it's so easy, but you got to believe it first. I'm going to teach you some skill set today, but the skill sets will not matter if you don't believe this to be the truth, that everyone buys Cutco and everyone gives you recommendations. Literally, a $300 order is free and 5 recommendations is literally like nothing. Can we get there? Can we believe that right now? Like, leaving this conversation, like, can we get there? Okay. I know a couple of you are looking at me still like, all right, like, I get it. So that leads into the second point, which is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. Okay. Mr. Gamboa mentioned belief in the product. The next thing is enthusiasm. When I'm talking about enthusiasm, write this down. Enthusiasm is persuasion without pressure. Enthusiasm is persuasion without pressure. Enthusiasm is persuasion without pressure. What do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. Ready? Let's say I'm out. Let's say Jacob is sitting on the beach, and I'm at the beach too, and I rented a jet ski. And I was like, bro, you should come get a jet ski. He's like, nah, I'm good. Looks dangerous. And I'm like, all right, dude, suit yourself. I go on this jet ski and I'm hitting the waves and I'm riding the jet ski and I'm like hitting the waves, riding this jet ski. And I'm like, this is awesome. And he's just like on the beach, just watching me have all this fun. I run that jet ski up onto the shore. I get it on the shore. I get off my jet ski and I say, bro, you have got to try this jet ski. That's enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is how you sell without being pushy. Even if Jacob said, no, it looks dangerous, I'm going to still say, dude, don't be dumb. This thing is awesome. I just did it. You saw, I don't have to, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference to me. I already rode the damn jet ski. I don't benefit by you riding this jet ski. I just want you to experience this because it was freaking awesome. That's enthusiasm. Selling for the other person because you genuinely believe and are excited about your product or service. That's enthusiasm. That is how you sell. Your customers do not buy Cutco. They buy your belief and your enthusiasm and your conviction that they should. I said that in training and I'll say that again. They are not buying Cutco. They're not giving you recommendations. They're buying your belief, your enthusiasm, and your conviction that they should give you recommendations, that they should buy Cutco. Your enthusiasm. So if a customer ever says, no, sweetie, I would love to, but now's a bad time. It's like, Miss Jones, totally cool. I totally understand. Did you like it though? You would use it if you had it? Then I have to show you something smaller because this product is awesome. And if you would use it, I have to show you something that maybe works for you and your family today. Let me show you this next option because it might be good for you and your family. But that skill set doesn't matter if you don't have the belief and if you don't have the enthusiasm. Does everyone understand that? So you can't sell Cutco with your skills if you don't have the other part, which is the mindset, of which is what we're talking about right now. Obviously, the affordability, we already talked about this. Everyone, we could, a $400 order in Cutco could be broken up into 5 payments of $80 a month. A homemaker set, we did this in training, is $265 plus tax, less than $300. Literally, I'm not proud of this. I'm not proud of this statement, but I'm going to say it to you. I literally have $300 in salmon jerky that is sitting in my pantry. I don't eat meat, but I do crave some salmon jerky, and I bought all of the salmon jerky that Sprouts had. So that's how I get my source of protein when I'm on the go. And it has 24 grams of protein in it, and it's amazing. And one bag. So there were $7 a bag. So you could do the math. I have $300 in salmon jerky in my pantry. So this is the shit that Mac customers, like people in your target audience, will spend their money on. And I was talking to my wife. My wife was like, "You make me sound like I spend money frivolously." And I was like, "You're right. I'm sorry." Because my wife is more frugal than I am on most things. And we're pretty frugal couple. Like we don't just waste money, but the fact of the matter is we do spend money still, even though we're frugal. And right now my wife is, she had a temporary layoff because of the pandemic. She's a corporate recruiter for Big Graphic, but the fact is where she's still looking at what the hell is it? A food press. She wants or a food processor. And she's like, should I get the $30 one or the $300 one? I was like, I don't know. Depends on how often you're going to use it. It's up to you. I know she's probably listening to me because she's in the room. I bet your ass she buys a $300. Just because it's better quality, it's going to last longer, it's more durable, all the reasons. She used to sell Cutco, so she gets it. But bottom line is, the point I'm mentioning to you is a couple $100 is no big deal. It's no big deal. We have a credit card. We literally swipe the credit card like 100 times over the course of a month for all different transactions. So if you're not there yet, I just want to remind you of that. The affordability of our product line for the target audience you're showing Cutco to, it is stupid how easy it is to show them Cutco. And if you're with someone who's comfortable, like they're really comfortable, getting a larger order, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 order, it is literally a mindset. That's all it is. It is a mindset. If you can't believe that they would spend $3,000 or $4,000 on their kitchen, just ask them to show you their countertops. Hey, Miss Jones, are you in your kitchen right now? Like, I'm looking at Elizabeth. Ready? I'm looking at Elizabeth. Everyone look out here. I'll spotlight Elizabeth for a moment. Right? I'm going to spotlight Elizabeth. I don't even know whose house she's in, and I don't care. But look at this china cabinet behind her. You see this like nice cabinet behind her? See how beautiful that is? Elizabeth, how often do the dishes in that cabinet get used?
Never.
Cool.
I'd get hurt.
Right? And has that been there most of your life?
Probably more than that.
So longer than your life, that china cabinet's been there. I would encourage you, your parents' house, grandparents' house, or
My parents.
parents, I would invite you to ask them, how much did that nice wood setup cost? And I would also ask them, how much did all the dishes inside of that cost that they never use? Now, don't ask them right now, but that's the point I'm making to you. I'm literally telling you right now that the stuff that people in your target audience spend their money on oftentimes is not stuff that they even use all the time. It's like decor. Are you following me here? Right? For something as practical as Cutco that's used every day, that they never have to replace, it saves them time and energy. You got to have it. It starts up here. So hopefully we're there. Hopefully we nail that point. The next point I'm going to go through is skill set. I'm going to spend a lot of time on skill set. But before I go to skill set, I want to talk about confidence. And the confidence that I want to mention here is really is projecting this confidence onto your customer by using your nonverbal communication. So especially, like you could tell right now, I'm sitting here like yelling at a computer screen, right? I feel like I'm on the Jetsons. Like I feel like that guy, if you ever watch the Jetskins, that little dude that's like yelling at everyone, right? But anyway, but bottom line is, you know, you want to use your facial expressions, your nonverbals, like you're smiling and nodding, like that shows confidence. Ready? Like watch, I'll use my proximity. I'll get real quiet. I'll zoom in on my face like this. I'll get all passionate and I'll get fired up. And then when I want to take a step back, doesn't that make sense? Right? So you're using your proximity to your advantage. When you're getting hyped up with Miss Jones, be like, did you see how sick those scissors cut that penny? Isn't that awesome? So Miss Jones, what would you use those scissors for? Yeah, you would use those for everything, right? Aren't those awesome? So Miss Jones, what do you think? Do you want to go and get that today? Get your super shears for free? Project confidence with your nonverbals. Project confidence with your smile and nod. Ask like you mean it. Know where confidence comes from? Ready? Know where confidence comes from? When you're willing to ask again. When you're willing to ask again, that's where you really strengthen confidence. When you really feel uncomfortable asking again, but you're like, gosh, I really think I should. Ready? Here's what I mean by that. Miss Jones, do you think you give me, so Mr. Kevin, I have a pen right in front of me right now. Can you give me 5 recommendations real fast? It would really mean a lot to me. Tell me, I'll do it later.
I'll do it later.
Thank you so much for being willing to give me recommendations later. It'll only take a minute right now. Is there any way we could just do it real quick right now? You could just even pull out your cell phone and just list off the last 5 people you called. It would mean the world to me. So I have my pen right here. So who's the first person?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If it was really quick.
That's confidence. Do you see? It takes confidence to ask a second time. It takes confidence to ask the second time. Say no when I ask you, Miss Natalie, did you want to go ahead and get that homemaker set today? Get the super shears for free? Say no.
No, I don't think so.
Hey, no problem. You like Cutco though, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think they're nice.
I'll tell you what, since you love Cutco, here's what I'd love to do for you. If you make the decision today just to try them out for a couple of weeks, just try them out. Worst case scenario, send it to the curb. UPS will pick it up for you. I just want you to at least try it out, cut up everything in sight. Here's what I'll do for you for a friends and family discount. I'll give you the super shears and I'll also give you another $150 in free Cutco of your choice. So it's $250 in free Cutco. And all you got to do is put down is $265 today plus tax on a credit card. It ends up being like $290. So $290 on your credit card. And I'll give you $275 in free Cutco. The shears plus another $150 item just by trying it out. So what do you think, Miss Natalie? Do you want to just put down a little fifth deposit, $285 on your credit card and get $285 in free Cutco today just to try it
Sure.
out and see if you like it?
Sure. Why not?
I agree.
Where do I
Why-
sign?
Let's go shopping. Let's figure out what we can get you with the extra $150. That's ask again. Forget about the skills. I'm going to teach you the skills. But to own your presence, to own your confidence, to be willing to ask. Why? Because I know that customer, it's in their best interest. I know the customer that they will enjoy my company. They will enjoy, their friends will enjoy me. They'll enjoy their product. I can ask again with confidence.
And
So
Mike,
before
quick
we move on
question.
to skill set, we went over belief, we went over enthusiasm, and we went over confidence. The rest of this, what we're going to talk about is actual skills that you could incorporate into your appointment. What are some questions? What are some comments? What are some light bulbs? What are some things that you're like, Mike, I needed to hear that today.
Yes, talking about the $265 deposit, like I came across that today in one of my demos. I wanted to give them the little try it out and then if not send it back. I didn't know enough on that. So if you could just evaluate it on a little more so I can like next presentation if I do come across that, I can offer them more information on that little deposit sent today. If you don't like it, just send it back.
That's a skill set. I promise you I'm going to cover that skill set. But the Cliff Notes version is, it's just you're just saying the same thing, the 5 monthly payment plan. You're just framing it in a different way. You're saying the same thing differently. So it's like, instead of saying it's $289 a month for 5 months, you just say, you put down $289 down today and you try it out for the trial period, which is 15 business days, which is 3 weeks. Make sure you love it. Take it for a test drive. If you don't love it within 3 weeks, you could send it back. UPS will pick it up at your front door and you get your 100% money back. So, but you're saying the same thing, but that's a skill set. Great. I love the question. I promise you I'm going to hit on that today. Anything else? Who has something on belief, enthusiasm, or confidence? Anything that I hit,
do.
please.
So something in my personal goals was to actually build phone skills and confidence. And so I'm really happy to hear that by working on those that I'm actually selling it through confidence and that what I'm working on is actually helping me sell. And so it's kind of the best with my own like personal goals and then also by selling and having that goal to sell, if you know what I'm saying.
I love that. I love that. I think that, I think that if you don't have a goal that inspires you, that could be a place to start, right? That could be a really good place to start.
Those are my for sure goals, is that I have saving for college, building confidence, and working on phone skills. And those are my 3 big main goals. And so I'm really happy I can start working on those.
Good. And by the way, Katie and I had a chance to have a conversation today. If Katie, when Katie hits her goals this summer, do you mind sharing what we came up with for your for everything as far as your goals for the summer?
I do not. I don't mind at all.
So what was the total? All you had to do was do how many appointments a week and for the summer?
I do 12 appointments a week, but I'm probably gonna end up doing more than that. But if I just do the bare minimum of 12 appointments a week, and I do that until the first week of August because I moved down to Florida. I'm from Central Illinois, so moving down, I'm not gonna have a lot of time. But given that it's the first week of August, I will make $12,000 by the end of the summer in pocket.
Yeah. So 12 grand earned for the summer just by hitting those numbers. And I can see some people's facial expressions like, wow, that sounds good for Katie. Well, every one of you have the same opportunity. So what I'll do is, if it's okay with Katie, since you said it's cool, I'll just show you what I mapped out with her on our conversation as we were talking about it. So it's right here. I'll share it with you, and you can feel free to take a photo if you want, but this is what we mapped out. We created a whole map today. We said she's done 5 appointments or so. She sold 3 grand. Her goal is to get to 10K for the fast start, maybe fall short at 6 grand. She has 11 weeks of work. If she does 12 appointments a week, she'll do 132 demos for the summer. 132 demos for the summer. If she maintains a 70% closing with a $400 average order, then she'll sell 37 grand for the summer. Plus what she sells for her fast start means she earns $12,000 this summer. So she's got to maintain setting 15 appointments a week, which is 75 calls to book up those 15 appointments. So her map is make 75 calls to book up 15 to complete 12 every week, attend the workshops on the daily and attend training sessions to get her these numbers consistent, and she'll make 12 grand this summer. Now this is just for Katie. None of you can have this either. It's only one of you can have this. So
yeah.
I kid, of course. Natalie's over there. I saw Natalie and Meridian. They just drooled a little bit. They're like, oh my God, I want to make 12 grand this summer. So that's all you have to do. That's your roadmap. If you're really excited about that, you've got to get to the sales leadership development meeting tomorrow. That sales leadership development meeting with Andrew Evans is going to be an opportunity for you to take that roadmap and actually develop the skills that are needed and the mindset that's needed and become the person worthy of making $1,000 paycheck a week. Because most of you are in the mindset of like, 15 bucks an hour is good. Like if you're making 12 bucks an hour, you're fired up. So we got to get you beyond that to being worthy of $1,000 a week. So we got to get you to think like you're worth that, which is what that meeting is all about tomorrow: sales, leadership, and development. And it's really fantastic skill set too, of course. But great reminder there, Katie, with the goals. Let me get maybe one or two more. Any takeaways or light bulbs about the belief, the enthusiasm, or the confidence, or what I just showed you?
Well, actually, I didn't have enough confidence, I think, in the beginning, and then my mom told me a day into doing my demos that she actually noticed that we owned Cutco knife, because one of my customers asked me if I was speaking from personal experience, and I thought I didn't have any Cutco knives. But then my mom used these white knives because she thought it was very visually appealing, but they weren't Cutco knives. And then those were in the washer, and then she pulled out what she remembered were her best knives, and then she was like, wait, this might be the one that Fernanda's selling. And so she checked it, and it was, and she was like, it's so amazing. And so she bought two more from me the other day.
So the confidence came from seeing the product line firsthand and understanding. I mean, how long has the Cutco been in the family for?
I'm not sure. My dad's the one that loves knives, and so I think he's had it for a while because he left those with us, and my mom asked to leave the best knives with us, and those were the knives he left with us. So it's probably been a while.
I love that. I love the fact that, because here's what's going to happen. Someone sold your dad those knives, and that person, I guarantee you, spent that commission within days. That commission probably got spent on Taco Bell, but the Cutco product is still in the family.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's awesome about selling Cutco, right? So great share. I appreciated that, Fernanda. I want to start transitioning to skill set. So let's go ahead. Let's buckle in. We'll do skill set and then we'll take a break. We'll discuss that and then take a break. All right. So strap in. Let's go. Mr. Gamboa said there's 3 types of representatives. The 3 types of representatives. These are the reps that either, number one, they sell sets, or they sell they sell larger family sets, or they sell nothing. Larger family sets or nothing. The second type of rep is the rep that sells larger family sets or pieces. And the third type of rep is reps that sell family sets, starter sets, custom sets, and pieces. So the first type of representative, they say, do you want to buy a homemaker set today? They say yes. Reps are like, yeah, they bought from me. If a customer says, no, I don't want to buy, they say, I'll buy later. The representative doesn't even show them anything else. They just say, okay, and they just tuck and roll away from the appointment. The second type of representative has they sell pieces because the customer says, can I just buy pieces? And the representative says, yes, I'm about to make a sale. Right. And they're just desperate for the sale, so they don't even show them the sets. The third type of representative shows every single option that we have, so that way a customer knows what they're saying yes or they're saying no to. That's the best representative. And that's what we want to train you to do. So we're going to go through the demo and get ready to take some notes. All right, so let's do this thing. First things first, I wanted to show you on Zoom how to do the share screen. I thought it was appropriate. So on Zoom, when you click new screen or share screen, and then this will show up, and then you click advanced. When you click advanced, this will show up. And you could share just the portion of your screen. And then if you click this little share computer sound button right here, it will share your audio as well. So what that means is I can share just a segment of my screen for my customer to see, and then I can have my training manual notes on another side of my screen. So you could have my training manual notes on one side, and I could have just what my customer sees on the other side in a box. That in itself could help you keep things organized. Did anybody try that this weekend or do that this weekend? A couple of you did? Okay, so that's not super new information for a lot of you. Cool.
There's
Go
actually
ahead, Katie.
a different way to do it that I found because I couldn't figure out how to do that version of it.
Okay.
I share my screen through Zoom, but it's just the regular one, but I have it on one window and then you minimize it and then you have your second one for you, and so you actually control it. So they just sit back and relax. And
Yeah,
that's
so
what
that would be the same thing. Is I would be controlling the computer. I'm essentially just putting their screen that they could see in a smaller portion.
okay.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing. So that way I
Hey,
can have my
Mike.
training manual notes somewhere else. Yep.
It's Autumn. Okay. So I haven't been sharing. I've actually been having, I don't know if I'm not supposed to do this, but I've been having the customers share it with me. Most of them, well, I had one, she shared it with me and she was looking at everything herself. And then she was asking me for like smaller pieces and she was looking at her own. And then she was asking me in regards to prices. And I feel like she liked it a lot until she
So here's
realized
the
that,
thing,
like
Autumn,
she's seeing all these.
I appreciate that, but that's definitely not sustainable because you have no
Yeah.
control over the appointment.
Okay.
So yeah, you always want to stay in control of the appointment, whether that's I'm controlling the Zoom and I'm just controlling everything, or I'm telling them exactly where to click and where to go. So that way I'm in control of the appointment. Because if you're not in control of the appointment, they're just shopping. They're not really,
Well, yeah, like during the presentation and me telling them, okay, go down a little bit until you see the white and blue slides, and then they stay there, and then I talk, and then I tell them to keep going and open up
they
full
were controlling.
screen.
Got it. So that would
Yeah,
be
it was just that one customer that I mentioned because that was after the demo, and she was like, oh, can I look at that stuff too? And I was like, yeah, like go ahead and let me know. Sorry.
Yeah. And that's another way of doing the same thing where you instead of you controlling it, you're just telling him exactly where to go on the slide as well. So I like the controlling of the screen because I also like the annotations feature where I can draw on the screen as well.
Yeah.
So excellent. So let me go ahead and transition. We went over this in training. This will be just a review for some of the stuff we went over. The 7 steps to a sale. We talked about this. So the step number 1 of building rapport and connecting. If you haven't created your goals page yet, we got to get there. Please make it on your to-do list right now. Put it on the top of your to-do list. You need to create a goals page for your business. It's really, really important for you to create one. It doesn't have to look like this, but just something to help you create a goals page to get your customers bought into you. Does anybody have one accessible where they could share if I let you screen share? Michaela, you have yours? You could screen share. You can pull it up.
Yeah. Let me.
Anthony has yours and maybe Katie. Cool.
Yep.
So whoever
work
can
on
pull theirs up first, and you could just click share screen, and I'll let you take over and do that.
I think I got it.
So I got Anthony pulling his up. Perfect. Oh, Katie just kicked you out. So let me get Anthony first since he was. All right. So great. Now y'all messed up my screen. All right, there we go. Anthony, go ahead and share yours. Yours was first, and then I'll go to Katie.
All right, so yeah, y'all can see the screen, right?
Yep. So you got your little bit about you. You got the opportunity. You got your goals, and you have some pictures. Freaking love it. I love it. I think that's fantastic. Real simple to the point with a couple of images there. Excellent. Let me see. Katie, you could go and share your screen.
Okay. I think it quit for some reason and then put me back in it, so I'm not sure if it just crashed, but
No worries.
we'll try this again.
Michaela, go for it.
Oh,
Or
hold on.
nope, Katie's back.
Oh, sorry.
Cool. I can see Katie. So you got your personal goals, save for college, improve phone skills, build confidence. Easy, simple. Love
I
it.
usually talk more
And
during
then
it.
yeah. And then you talk about it. Absolutely. So you have the visual, and then you talk about it. I love it. Michaela, let me see yours.
So I have this.
Oh, nice. You can't go wrong with the dog in the picture.
Yeah, she's my baby.
I already love it. The dog in the picture. So about me, why Cutco, 2020 goals. Love it. Simple, to the point, great photo. Excellent. So if you haven't created one yet, you got to create one. It humanizes it. It humanizes the experience. Really, really important for that. The next reminder from training is answering these questions throughout the demo. We talked about this in training, but these are the questions that we need to answer before you get to the closing, before you get to the pricing. So if you haven't written these down as just a reminder for you, you want to nail these during the appointment. when the video is playing, you want to hit on the why buy quality. I know the video does it, but you want to echo it. When you're talking about the sets of Cutco, talk about what it costs to own high quality. I saw Elizabeth talking to someone. She probably got a price on the china cabinet, right? So what it costs to own nice things, what it costs to own stuff for the home, right? Why upgrade? Why should they upgrade their knives? Everyone already has knives. Everyone already has knives. All 16 million people who bought Cutco had knives. But why did they upgrade? Every single person that bought a smartphone already had a flip phone. Why the hell did they upgrade to the smartphone if they already had a flip phone? You know, it's the same concept. Like, are you getting that a point across to your customers of why they should upgrade? Right? And then we said, who wins when they buy Cutco? Everyone. And why invest in a set? Does anybody remember the 5 reasons on why sets make the most sense? Who could type those 5 reasons into the chat box? The 5 reasons why sets make more sense than pieces. So I got Natalie says discounts. Katie says right tool, discounts, safer, free stuff, efficient, built-in discounts, savings. All right, you guys are like all over the place. Ready? Repeat after me. You can mouth it with me. Right tool. Everyone say right tool. Discounted. Free stuff. Safer. 5-pay. Right tool, discounted, free stuff, safer, 5-pay. You want to have that internalized. Right tool, discounted, free stuff, safer, 5-pay. Right tool, discounted, free stuff, safer, 5-pay. Right tool, discounted, free stuff, safer, 5-pay. I had a rep once when I was newer, and I was doing the coaching calls, and I called him up, or he called me from the demo, and he's with his customer, and he said, Mike, I'm with my customer. They want to know if they could just buy pieces. And I said, well, absolutely. Did you explain to them why sets are a better deal? And he says, oh yeah, Ms. Jones, right tool, discounted, free stuff, safer, 5-pay. And he says it just like that, rattles it off real fast. I was like, well, it was really good, but you want to expand on each one of them. But it was really funny because he memorized those things real fast, which is good, but you want to memorize them and internalize them so you could explain them slow. Right tool for the right job. Using the golf club analogy. Built-in discounts. They get free stuff, right? I talked about my duffel bag story during training. Free stuff often puts them over the top. Safer, and they could do the 5 payment options so they don't have to pay for it all at once. Right tool, discount, or free stuff, safer, 5-pay. Making sure that you know that. Making sure you explain that. Anytime someone wants to get pieces, the sets are a better value. Also, understanding the 3 family sets. I know we had a few of you sell medium sets. We had several homemaker sets, and then we had a bunch of different starter sets, but just knowing that if they're a family, these are the best values for the average family. We talked about in training the fundamentals of closing. I want to review that with you. The fundamentals of closing. When you're doing the comparison and you're talking about the Wusthof and Shun, do we want to bash the competitor? No, we want to build them up. We want to build up the competition. We want to chill out like we're sitting in a hot tub. When we write down the $4,000, see on the annotation, when you click annotate and I click text, I could write right on the slide, $4,000, right? I could do it right on the slide. So you could do that right on your presentation too on Zoom. Make sure that they write it down. Make sure they have a visual. Show them what they get as a refresher. So when you do a refresher with your customer of everything that of everything they get, yourcutcodemo.com, you want to show them what they get with their set. So ready? It'll look something like this. So show them what they get as a refresher. So Ms. Jones, with your homemaker set, just a reminder, what comes in this set, you're getting all 7 cookie knives, you're getting this 2 forks, you're getting the spatula, you're getting 8 table knives in a block with a cutting board and a sharpener for the straight edges. just like reviewing everything they get in their set. Then the test close. Which color do you like best? Which color do you like best? Present the actual price and write it down with excitement. It's only $13.26, paid in full. You do it today, I give you free stuff. So what do you think? Do you want to go in and get that set today? Get your free gifts? Smile and nod. Yes? Great. You're going to love your homemaker set. Let me show you the larger family sets just so you know what comes with it. And you upserve. Remember, we did this in training. Upserve. If no, no problem. You investigate and use their reason to drop down to a smaller option. Who has an example this weekend where they said a hard no on the homemaker? It was like, no way in hell. But then you followed this process and they ended up buying a starter set. Does anybody have an example of that? Michaela, tell us about that situation.
So I was talking to one of my mom's, it was my mom's great aunt, I think it was. And, you know, she's just talking, I talked to her about the homemaker. She's like, you know what, that's too big. Like my son and my son-in-law had just moved out. Like, you know, it was too big. I was like, okay, like it was just too big. So let's go a little smaller. And then she ended up getting the Studio Plus 4 set. So I just followed it. I kept going down and I kept going down. And she looked more and more interested as I kept going down, so I caught her attention by going smaller, which was better. And she was happy that like she found something that was right for her. So.
Cool. So, and you feel like just by staying patient and showing all the options, you're able to stick your guns and help her get a smaller set of Cutco.
Yep.
I love that. I love that. And I you know, because the homemaker set's great, but it might not be the perfect set for everyone. And that's a perfect example of providing really good customer service, just like the guy in the bed, you know, selling my wife and I our bed. You know, I mean, if he just said, you don't want the $12,000 bed, well, screw you. You don't deserve it. Get out of my store. We wouldn't have an awesome bed upstairs, right? So the fact is, it's working with the customer. Even though I said we can't afford it, even though I said we just bought a fence, even though I said we have no money, he still did provide a really good customer service by showing all the options. And does anybody remember from training the question that we ask to transition out of the homemaker into the galley set? Does anybody remember that question on how we investigate, the questions that we use to investigate, and then the phrase we use to transition? Does anybody remember that? Jacob, what was it? If you remember.
You just kind of, don't you just like ask them pretty much like what about the homemaker set they're unsure of?
Yeah, I love it. That's great, Jacob. So you say, what are you unsure of? Then they're going to tell you it's either like too much money or too many options or whatever they say, right? And it doesn't matter what they say, but you just use their reason on why you show them another option. So if they say it's too much money, I'm going to show them another option. That's what? Less money. If they say it's too many pieces, I'm going to show them an option that has less pieces. Either way, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doing it with their interest in mind. So does anybody remember the transition phrase on how do we sell them off the homemaker and onto the galley set? Anybody remember that? I'll pull it up for you just to remember. Just if you don't remember it, you want to write it down so you have it. How do you sell them off the homemaker? You say, Ms. Jones, you're not going to carve a turkey every day, right? No. So then it doesn't make sense to spend money on items you won't use all the time. So let me just show you this next option. And then you go into it. Do you guys remember that from training? You guys remember that? If you didn't remember that, write that down because it's a really important transitional phrase from the homemaker to the galley. Does anybody remember the 3 questions to ask to transition from the galley to the starter sets? Yeah, Meridian? Go, all right, let's see, homie.
Okay, so they were, which one tool would you use the least?
Mm-hmm.
Would you use a block? And you would use the table knives, right? How many?
Nice. That's what I'm talking about, Meridian. That's right. right? So if you didn't have those 3 questions down, you want to have those questions down. These questions transition into the starter sets. If you do that the right way, it's going to make it very easy to transition in here into your starter packages. So the transitions are what your coaches were really doing a good job with this weekend. See, how the dropping down works is you start right here at the homemaker, you drop down to a galley, drop down to the starters, drop down to a custom, drop down to the favorite piece. So it's dropping down, it's like walking down steps, one step at a time. So if you're doing an effective presentation, you asked on the homemaker once, galley is twice, starters 3 times, custom 4 times, favorite piece 5 times. You should have at least 5 asks at minimum for every 1 appointment that you do. If you want to be the rep that shows everything, which I'm sure you do. So as far as skill set goes, the skill set's real easy. The skill set's real easy. You read the training manual. Skill set's really easy. Smile and have fun. The skill sets are really, really simple. We're going to take a break here in just a moment. When we come back from our break, I'm going to teach you how to use your bonus points to work out deals for your customers. I'm going to show you how to work out deals so that way you don't have to be as reliant on your coach for deals. I'm going to show you how to work them all out on your own. Now, you still want to call your coach because it works, but I'm going to show you how to work out deals for yourself. Then I'm going to unveil something called the secret weapon that I think you're really going to love. We're then going to transition into some recommendations, best practices to help you increase your recommendations. Then we're going to transition into helping you get more appointments. We're going to talk about something called a chicken list to help you expand your names list and help you think of more people. Once we're done with that, I'll wrap up with some assignments. And then for those of you that want to stick around and help us build our team, I'll tell you about a huge contest announcement about your fast start that you think you're really going to love. Any questions on that before we transition into break and then go into the next section of training? Fernanda.
So I've had a couple customers that already had Cutco and they wanted to know about how to sharpen them.
Yeah, on the website, there's actually information on that. So if you go to your Cutco demo right here at the top, Forever Guarantee, Cutco owners right there at the top.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Cool. So here's what I'd like to do. To transition to break, we'll give you, we'll take 10, ideally 10, but if you need 15, we could take 15. It's a shorter meeting, so I'd like to get it done a little earlier than wait. But, let's take 12 minutes. Before you go to break, I want you to go through your notes real fast. We'll do 12 minutes. We'll start back up at 3, what is that? So 12, so it's 45, 55. So we'll go to 51. All right, so we'll come back at 3:51, right there. You like that? Make it easy. So 3:51, we'll start back up. Actually, that's not 12 minutes, my bad. So 3:55, we'll go 3:50. So time telling is fun. So 3:55, 3:56, 3:56, you're gonna come back. I just want you to post your biggest light bulbs in the chat box real fast. Anything you've heard since we started. We've been at it for about 90 minutes now. What are the biggest things you heard so far? Top 2, maybe top 2 or 3 that you're like, I needed to hear that today. That was really helpful. We'll start back up. 3:56. 3:56.
Mike, just real quick, just a really kind of off-topic question. Do you have a corgi?
I don't. I have a Basenji Chihuahua mix.
Okay, because I saw a little yellow dog just kind of roam by, and he was very cute.
He is cute, little Tommy. I'll bring him to the camera after.
Anger got no malice, just a little bit of regret. No, nobody else will tell you. So there's some things I gotta say. Gonna jot it down and then get it out, and then I'll be on my way. No, you're not half the man you think that you are. And you can't fill the hole inside of you with money, drugs, and cars. I'm so glad I never ever had a baby with you. Cause you can't love nothing unless there's something in it for you. Oh, I feel so sorry. I feel so sad. I tried to help you, it just ain't you mad yet. And I had no warning about who you are. I'm just glad I made it out without breaking down, and then ran so fucking far that you would never ever touch me again. Won't see you out again. this out by saying I really meant well from the start. Take a broken man right in my hands and then put back all his parts. But you're not half the man you think that you are, and you can't fill the hole inside of you with money, girls, and cars. I'm so glad I never ever had a baby with you, 'cause you can't love nothing unless there's something in it for you. Oh, I feel so sorry, I feel so sad. I tried to help you, it just ain't you made it. And I had no warning about who you are. Just glad I made it out without breaking it down. That you would never ever touch me again. Don't see you out of gate, I tears of love, I've had enough of that. Used to be sad.
Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now. Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now. If you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody, if you wanna believe that anything could stop me, don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now.
LA on a Saturday night in the summer, sundown and they all come out. Lamborghinis and they renting Hummers. The party's on, so they're heading downtown. Everybody's looking for a come up, and they wanna know what you're about. Me in the middle with the one I love it. We're just trying to figure everything out. We don't fit in well, 'cause we are just ourselves. I could use some help getting out of this conversation. Yeah, you look stunning, dear, so don't ask that question here. This is my only fear, that we become beautiful people. Drop top designer clothes, front row fashion shows. What you do, you know, inside the world. Beautiful people, shopping alone, unknown. Read notes and broken bones, surrounded but still alone. Let's leave the party. Beautiful people.
Last night and we made it nowhere. I see stars in your eyes when we're halfway there. I'm not faced by all the lights and flash cameras. Cause with my arms around you, there's no need to care. Don't fit in right way. I trust ourselves. I could use some help getting out of this conversation. No love starting there, so don't ask that question. It's just my only fear that we become
beautiful people. Drop top designer clothes, front row fashion shows. What you do, you know, inside the world. Beautiful people, shopping alone, unknown. Read notes and broken bones, surrounded but still alone. Let's leave the party. Beautiful people.
I met a boy, he was so beautiful. I knew he was the one for me. Started with joy, you know, the usual. Got drunk and said, come home with me. He was living for the dark, bought me roses and took my heart. He was living for his heart, such a poet in the way he talked. But he don't love me, no he don't love me. No he don't wake up in the night and want me by his side. No he don't love me, no he don't love me. No he don't love me, no. But he don't love me, no he don't love me. No he don't wake up in the night and want me by his side. No he don't love me, no he don't love me. No he don't love me, no. I saw him kiss somebody else till he said I'm the only one. I couldn't fight those pretty lies as long as he would stay with me. He was living for the dark, bought me roses and took my heart. He was living for his heart, such a poet in the way he talked. But he don't love me, no he don't love me. No he don't wake up in the night and want me by his side. No he don't love me, no he don't love me. No he don't love me, no.
perfect lie, a kiss goodbye. It's all a game, they stay the same.
All right, welcome back. I just had a bag of my salmon jerky. I got fired up talking about it, so. All right, let's do this thing. So we're going to go into some called CPO and point value to show you how to work out deals, okay? So let me share my screen. On Vector Connect, Rollo orders, price lists, product price lists. Okay. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that shows you all of the items. Okay. Now, you're the first to hear this. We're going to announce this Wednesday night, but the state of New York has some limitations on due to COVID on what they're able to, how, you know, businesses and what's able to get done. Because of that, the factory has had some limitations put on them on how many workers can work at the same time and whatnot. So due to that, we had to, I'm going to talk about this Wednesday at the team meeting. They're going to be doing a temporary hold on the least purchased items, and also the items that take the most factory help to manufacture, until the governor releases this COVID restriction. So I'm going to talk about it Wednesday night. But bottom line is we have till Wednesday at midnight to sell certain items and certain sets. So right now everything is business as usual, but at our team meeting on Wednesday night, I'll be announcing what those sets are and what those items are. So right now everything is fair game, but they're eliminating probably about I would say 40% of maybe 30% of the items that are not the kitchen cutlery sets. So a lot of like some of the gadgets and accessories and add-ons and stuff like that. So we'll talk about it. But the reason why I say that is because this price list that I just pulled up is the updated price list with everything that we can sell after Wednesday night. So this is starting on Thursday. But either way, I'm just going to show you how you get CPO. So there's some things missing from this price list for that reason. So right here, you'll see kitchen cutlery sets. A Homemaker Plus 8 is $11.95 CPO. CPO stands for commissions paid on. So what is commissions paid on? So that's what you're paid on. So their CPO equals CPO value minus points free. So this is like CPO of what they buy, CPO of what they buy minus the points of what you give them for free. And that's how you calculate your commissions that you're paid on. Okay. So for example, actually, let me put this at the end so it makes a little bit more sense. Okay. So let's say, for example, if I buy a Homemaker Plus 8, $11.95 is what I buy. And let's say for free, I give the Super Shears. Okay. Well, I can't scroll down. So the Super Shears are how many points? So let's, for some reason, because I'm in the text box. Let me stop that. Super Shears. Super Shears are under accessories, they are 80 points, right? So they're 80 points. So coming back to this little text box here, so minus 80 points is free. My CPO that I'm paid on is 11.15. Any questions on that so far? You could unmute yourself if you have any questions on just that. It literally is right here, what I just said though. Yeah, so to Meridian's question, after Wednesday, no, all the red is will not be available. So, and like I said, I'll discuss this on Wednesday. They just sent a long email out. I got the email an hour ago, like an hour before we started. So I don't know all the details. I have to look into it before I present it. I just want to let you know that's why some of the products aren't on this price list. So, so yeah, if you have anyone that's going to want red Cutco, better sell it to them before Wednesday. So I guess it just creates a little bit more urgency for you all to try to get, you know, any of those sales that you want done for some of those people that want steak knives, stainless table knives, hunting knives, you know, red Cutco. You know, there's a list of some things. But anyway, so let's continue. What is your maximum you're able to give for free then? So this is where you want to take notes. You're allowed to divide by 5. Divide by 5. That's what you're able to do. Divide by 5. So what does that mean? Let me explain. CPO divided by 5 equals maximum points for free, maximum free points. CPO divided by 5 equals the maximum free points. So if I'm buying a homemaker set, $11.95 divided by 5 equals how many points? $11.95 divided by 5 is 239 free points. That's how many points I'm allowed to give. So technically, could I give more free stuff on this homemaker sale if I wanted to? Yes. But it's free to the customer, but it's not free to you. So when you called your coach this weekend, we used this formula to figure out what you're able to give away for free on your appointments. Are there any questions so far? Is there? Okay. And Janaea and Isabella, if you don't mind putting your cameras on, that'd be great. I appreciate that.
I was wondering if we're going to be changing the website because we advertise the red Cutco right on those front pages.
It's going to be updated. Like I said, so I love the concerns about the mention of what I said, but everything will be updated by Thursday. So we have our sales meeting on Wednesday night for a reason, for me to talk about some of this stuff. Yeah, I promise you'll be updated before everything goes into effect by Wednesday night.
All right.
This stuff.
Yeah, my bad. Is Anthony, I have a question. So if they buy like the biggest set, which would be the ultimate set, right?
Correct. So the ultimate set,
Yeah, if they buy the ultimate set, you can still give away like say around 400 free points and still be making like a lot of money, right?
Yeah, let's do the math. So they buy the ultimate, which is right here, 2547, 2547, divide by 5. How many points can I give them away? 2547, 2547 divided by 5 is 509 points I can give away. So what are the points? What are things I could give away? I can actually give away an all knife set. Shit, I could give away a basic galley set if I really wanted to. So if they have like a second home, I could give them an entire basic galley set away for free. I give them all these gift sets for free. You know, I could give them a ton of gadgets, accessories, all that.
So if we do, but we don't want to do that, right? Because then it'll make us, like, does it affect us negatively if we give them higher points?
So Fernanda, see, here's this is where I love that you asked a question. So it's an investment. It's like what you're allowed to do to make the sale is you're allowed that amount. So if you can make the sale without giving this much for free, if they're just going to buy an ultimate set, then you don't have to give anything for free.
Okay.
But if you need to give away free stuff, you at least know what you're allowed and how the formula works. We don't teach this to you in training. We just say, call your coach first weekend so we can do this for you. But now that you are kind of already had some sales, this is what your coaches were doing. This is all they're doing to figure out what they can give away for free and what you're allowed and whatnot. We're literally just dividing by 5, figuring out what fits under that point value category, and then going from there.
Okay, but we don't want to like straight up say like, oh, if you buy this ultimate set, I can give you a galley set, right?
Yeah, no. Well, you don't want to, because if you don't need to give them that much for free, don't. It just depends. Do you want to be the Grinch or you want to be Santa Claus? Like, you know, you could be the Grinch and hold it for you, or you could be Santa Claus and give everything away, but that's your maximum.
Okay.
It allows you to have some level of creativity and flexibility.
Okay.
Now, one of the things I do want you to keep in mind is I would always save some of those points to bribe for more recommendations. So say for example, if they did the homemaker set with the super shears for free, doing that as an example here. Whoops, where was I? I was on my other screen share. So if I were, oh, it's gone forever. All right. But anyway, so if we did this homemaker one, it's over down here already. So right here, 80 points, I said I can give up to 239. So I still have like an extra 150 points I can give. I wouldn't give them more for the sale. I would use some of those points. I would bribe them for like, hey, Miss Jones, I'll give you an ice cream scoop, $51. If you give me 10 recommendations, I'll throw an ice cream scoop onto your sale.
Okay.
You know, hey, Miss Jones, if you give me 20 recommendations, I'll give you a 4-pack of table knives. You know, like you can do stuff like that to bribe them to give you more recommendations. When you make a larger sale, you don't necessarily have to use your points to make the sale. You could use your points to give them bribe to get 20, 30, 40 recommendations from your customer. Alexia Brody, she just got 40 recommendations from one of her last customers. So don't underestimate the power of a vegetable peeler. Shit, a vegetable peeler, your customers will give you a ton of friends just for that. Cool. So any other questions on the CPO before I teach you the secret weapon, which is really going to rock your world? Katie? And then Marie.
Last night I sold a signature set, and so part of it that I saw in the Excel sheet was that I can give $425 away free. Now, do I tell them I can give them $350 and then be like, oh, well, I guess I could give you this too? Or like, is that the minimum I can give? Because I'm very confused on that.
Yeah, so the 425 is about in that same ballpark of the divide by 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's right in the, because the one is based on points and the $425 is based on retail, but it's probably about the same, give or take a little bit. Here's your rule of thumb. If Rollo accepts it, good, you can do it. If you get an error message that says too much for free, you can't do it. That's really your rule of thumb. So if you want to give them a sick deal and you're like, I don't know, can I do it? Well, if your coach doesn't answer, just go to Rollo, type it in there. Does it work? Yes. Thumbs up. You could do it. Go to Rollo. It comes up with an error message. Too much for free. Nope, you can't do it.
Gotcha.
But it gives you a level of flexibility, which makes it fun, where you can start wheeling and dealing and like be like, all right, Miss Jones, I could do this if you do that, you know, but I can only do that today because you cannot get free stuff on a second visit. Why? Because that's considered an illegal practice. It says a buy now bonus. You'd be lying to all your other customers if you're giving free stuff to people who didn't buy from you the first time.
Right.
right? So that's it's technically illegal according to the Federal Trade Commission. Felicia?
So now, are we just doing everything ourselves now that we know how to do that, or are we still making that call during the appointment?
That's a great question. Here's what I would say. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So everything that you were doing, it was working. So just keep doing that, right? I wouldn't change anything. I would just keep doing whatever the heck you guys were doing. If you want to mess around and try to do it on your own at some point in the future, go for it. I just at least wanted to show you as a backup, just in case your coach doesn't answer, or just in case, you needed to figure something out on your own, you at least know how to do it. But I would just keep doing what you're doing. Keandra?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So, like, she just asked for us doing it ourselves. I understand that part. We'll still call our coaches, but are we allowed to, like, present the offers on our own and then call the coach? Or will we have to do everything through the coaches?
Here's what I would say. If, for some of you are there getting good results. Like, if Elon asked me, hey, what should I do? I'd be like, Elon, just do whatever you're doing because it's working. Like, don't change anything. Right? And if you're not getting results and you're not where you want to be, I would say start doing what Elon was doing. I could pull up Elon's chat right now and it is blown up. Like, I left my phone for like 2 hours, and because I'm in the group chat with Amanda and Jess, I left my phone for a little bit, and there was like probably 40 messages unread that I didn't look at because they were just in conversation back and forth throughout the weekend. Lots of conversation back and forth, which is awesome. You see him nod his head. No wonder why. I didn't even have to look at the sales report to figure out who's doing really well, because I could see how much dialogue is going on in your group coaching chat with your coach. It shows that's really what's showing me who's constantly in contact with their management staff to get really good results. So I know that's probably not the answer you're looking for, but I would just keep doing what you're doing, but I'm at least pulling back the curtain a little bit to let you know what you could do. All right. So I want to go ahead and take that as a transition to show you a secret weapon. What I'm about to show you, this is what helped Jackson Vega go from 3,000 first weekend to sell $7,000 this week. In his first full week, because this secret weapon is really awesome. I had Jules Martinovich go 0 for 6. I taught her this. She sold 6 galley sets in a row and ended up having a $6,000 sales week, and ended up making a $1,000 paycheck. Sarah Cora went 3 sales for 10 appointments on her first 10. Taught her this. On her next 12 appointments, sold 12 secret weapons in a row right after what I'm about to teach you. Okay. No hype. I mean, it's really, really simple, but man, it is a really great, you will sell so many homemakers and galley sets with what I'm about to show you. Okay. I'm going to do it live for you, and then I'll let you pick out what I just did. Now, keep in mind the bonus points and everything I just taught you, because that's kind of how the secret weapon works. So ready? I'm just going to do it live. Go over here to my Cutco demo. Natalie, you're going to be my customer. Ready? So Miss Natalie, so I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. Did you want to go ahead and get your Pearl Homemaker Plus 8 in the block with a cutting board sharpener? I'll give you those super shears for free. Say no.
No thanks. I'm not really interested today.
Hey, no problem at all. Did you like Cutco? Yeah, did you like Cutco?
Yeah, I loved a lot of your items that you had.
Yeah, would you use it if you had it?
I mean, yeah, maybe that ice cream scoop.
Okay, cool. So if you don't mind me asking, what is it about the homemaker you're unsure of?
I just don't think I'll use everything in the set. That's all.
Got it. Yeah, it definitely doesn't make sense to spend money on items you would never use. I do want to tell you about an option that I think you're really going to love, because you're not going to cover turkey every single day, right?
Nah.
Yeah. So let me show you about an option I think you're really going to like. It's called the galley set. It's a few less knives for a lot less money. And how it works, okay, it has almost everything the homemaker has, okay? So you get 6 table knives instead of 8. You get the paring knife, trimmer, spatula spreader, turning fork, petite carver, chef knife, and slicer. It comes in a block just like this, along with a cutting board just like this, okay? Now, the Homemaker set,
Would you maybe?
the Homemaker set, as we talked about, is 1,326. The beautiful thing about this set is it's not quite 1,326. So it's only a few less knives, but check this out. It's a lot less money. The retail on this galley set, anybody have the price on that? I know they change all the time. I guess I do right here. Galley plus 6 set is $957. So retail for the galley set is $957. So it'd be $957 plus tax. Now your installment on that, Miss Jones, $957 plus tax, $957 divided by 5. It's only $191 per month plus tax.
Okay.
Okay. And if you do this today, I could still let you have the Super Shears or the ice cream scoop or whatever you like for free with the Homemaker set. Say no. This is where the secret weapon comes into play. Say no. Do you want to go in and do that today?
I'm not really looking to buy knives.
Hey, no problem at all. Let me ask you a question, Miss Jones. If you did get Cutco, what would you do with your older knives? Would you be open to getting rid, like donating them to like a local Goodwill eventually when things kind of settle back down? Would you be open to donating them to like a Goodwill, like your old knives that you never would use again if you got Cutco?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So we have a special. It's called a trade-in offer. It's kind of like when you go to a car dealership. What do they let you do with your old car to get a better deal on the new car? They let you what?
Trade it in.
Trade it in. We have the same exact concept here with Cutco. Because here's what happens. When you go to Goodwill and you donate your old knives and you take a picture of that and you send me that picture, I could use that photo showing all of my other future customers that people buy Cutco and they upgrade to Cutco and they get rid of their old knives and they donate their old knives. And that'll help me a ton with all my future appointments. And if you're willing to do that, I can give you a ridiculous friends and family special. So instead of giving you anything for free with the galley set, what I can do is I could give you a ridiculous discount. And I could bring your galley set from that $957 number. How much money do you think you would get if you donated your knives or you sold your knives at a garage sale? How much do you think you could get from at a garage sale?
Maybe $50 max, 25.
$25 for old knives that barely work? Okay, that's generous.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
What if I gave you $100 off, $100 trade-in value? Would that be pretty cool?
Yeah, it's pretty convincing.
We don't do that. Don't get too excited. Miss Jones, what if I give you a $200 trade-in value? Would that be pretty cool?
Absolutely.
Cool. We don't do that either. Don't get too fired up. Miss Jones, check this out. I'm going to give you over a $200 trade-in value on your old knives. And instead of paying $957, I could do it for $739 plus tax. So you're getting almost an entire Homemaker set, which is the first set I showed you. You're just missing a couple of the least used items. It would bring your price from $739 divided by 5. It's only $147 plus tax each month per month for 5 months. Now, Miss Jones, just so you know, that breaks down to be about $37 per week. So for you and your husband, that's about $19 per week for you, for the husband and for the wife.
Wow.
You'll have the entire set for the rest of your life. My friends and I spend more than this on Chipotle. But you'd have to be willing to trade in your old knives, take a picture, send them to Goodwill, and send me that photo so I can use that on all my future appointments. Would you like to take advantage of the friends and family special on the galley set and save over $200 today?
Sure.
Awesome. You're going to love it. So let me come up for some air for just a moment. What the hell just happened? Does anybody know? Any guesses on what I just did? I see Michaela said my aunt did the trade-in deal. So if you called your coach this weekend, they would have done the trade-in deal for you if needed. It's a secret weapon for a reason because we use it as needed. What just happened? Who could tell us what just happened?
So since, they said, oh, I already have a ton of knives at home. So what you're doing is, you're giving them the option of getting the galley set, right? That has all the knives that they have at home, but they're the better option. And you're like, okay, you do give them the situation like if you got the set and you sold them at a garage sale, how much would you get? Nothing, right? But with this, we're giving you $100 trading credit. Actually, no, $200 trading credit, and it lowers the price a whole lot more, and then it gives them more incentive to be like,
Yeah, it gives them more incentive to do it today. Good. What else did I do? How did I use the bonus points? How did that all set up? How do I even make that happen? Katie, what are you going to say?
So what I kind of saw you did was you said, instead of giving you the free stuff, I can give you the huge discount. So what you did was you moved those points from that free, whether it was the entertainer set or that pair of shears, you just moved the points. And so it looks like you're giving them a massive discount, but what you're really doing is just moving around money to make it look different.
Exactly what the secret weapon is. It's exactly what the secret weapon is. But doesn't it sound so sexy and when it's framed that way of you got to get rid of your old knives, you get rid of the clutter, it helps me with future appointments, I give you a ridiculous discount, right? Because people naturally need to give something to get something to feel good about it at least. So when you do that, and you frame it in those terms, it creates a lot of urgency, it creates a lot of want. And just like Katie said, all I'm doing is moving around the bonus points. So instead of giving them the shears or the pack for free, Michaela, what are we giving for free?
The discount.
I am giving the discount, but what did you have to bonus on your order form to give it? What did you have to bonus for free to lower the price?
I didn't do this to my aunt. My aunt actually had someone do this for her.
Oh, got it.
I did. I
Okay.
wish I did, but I didn't.
Okay. So does anybody know how do we get that price? All right, teaching moment. Right here, $739. That's the price of the galley set without the table knives. So I'm having them buy the one without the table knives, and then for free, I'm giving them 6 table knives. I'll say that one more time.
Okay.
So they're buying the galley set without the table knives. For free, I give them 6 table knives. Now you might say, well, Mike, what if they want the block that has the slots for the table knives? You add the letter B, as in block, next to the item number. So you put 2007, the color, and then the letter B. And then for free, instead of giving the shears in the pack, you give them 6 of those table knives. I'll tell you right now, you do this, that is a $500 order, 500 CPO. 500 CPO order. So take a look. I'll show you what I mean. Ready? They get 6 table knives. Look. So what is a galley plus a basic galley is 660. Do you see? 660. And the table knives are 25 points each. So if I'm giving 6 away for free, what is it? So 660 minus 150 equals 510. How many of you guys would be cool with having a $510 order on almost every single appointment? Would you be cool with that? This is how you will turn those smaller sales into $500 orders. You're still going to want to sell Homemaker Signatures Ultimates, but by doing the secret weapon, you say no to a Homemaker, no to the galley set, and then you do this secret weapon on the galley, and it's a $500 sale. And it's so hard for them to say no because it's such a good deal. How does mom justify to dad anytime she spends money on anything? Don't worry, babe. I got it on sale. How does that, if dad broke his golf club playing golf, and it could be vice versa, mom breaks her golf club, whatever, and he's at the range and he's in a round of golf and he buys a club, he says, don't worry, babe, I got it on sale as a special, right? That's all they need to hear to justify. So if we can create the framework of listen.
I have a question.
Whoa, hey. So just one second. So we frame it in a way, this is a good deal. It's on sale. It's for you, but you have to do this to get this, and you have to do it today. Or like you take a photo and you frame it in that way. Do they really need to do all that? Not really, but it just makes it feel like they have to give something to get something.
Oh, okay.
Now, the other way I have representatives raise money for our PB&J for Tampa Bay charity. That's how we get all of our donations when we do live demos. It's like, hey, if you give a donation, my manager said he'll give you a discount. And that's how we usually do it on our live demos. But for right now, this is what we're working through at the moment. The trade-in offer. You guys like this? Questions, comments? Good? Cool. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to create breakout rooms real fast, and I'm going to have you partner up, and I want you to role play. Just saying no to the homemaker, no to the galley, and then pitching the galley seeker weapon to your partner, okay? Then I'm only going to give you maybe 10 minutes for this, quick 10. Okay, and then we're going to reconvene, and then I'm going to teach you recommendations, advanced recommendations. Then we're going to talk a little bit about your chicken list, and then we'll start wrapping up. Okay, so I'm going to pause the recording. Yeah. So now that we have the seeker weapon, and we have that underway, let's go to recommendations. So I want to transition to recommendations. Let's make this happen. So recommendations, I gave you some tips. I know Andrew gave you some tips and training on recommendations, but this right here is a great document, and I'll share it with you if I haven't done so yet. But this is it's already on the website. This is all on the website, but this is just having a separate document, having the words underlined and whatnot, just so you have it, okay? And I'll actually pull up I'll send you the link for the document while I'm thinking about it. So where would you be? Where would this be? Okay. So under the umbrella of recommendations, if I'm taking notes, the first thing I want you to write down, the number one reason why people give you recommendations is because they like you. I would write that down. It sounds so simple, but the number one reason why they give you recommendations is because they like you. It has nothing to do with Cutco, has nothing to do with the product, it has nothing really even to do with the presentation. It's just that they liked you. And as long as they like you, they're going to want to introduce you to more people. So the number one easiest way to get recommendations is to get them to like you. So I just posted in the chat box the link, but I'll pull it up on my screen as well. So this is the online demo recommendation approach. So it says, Mrs. Jones, how did you like my demo? How did you like my demo? That's a yes question. It's like, how'd you like my demo? Oh, I thought you did great. Great. Well, go ahead and pull out your cell phone because there's one more very important part. When you say that word very, it creates a high level of importance. Here's where you can really help me out. You want to overemphasize these two words because you want to create a certain emotion. You want to create a certain emotion. You want to slow down. So I get paid every time I show Cutco, and I can only call people I'm personally recommended to. So what I need you to do is to grab your phone, open up your contacts, and let's jot down 200 to 300 people. I'm just kidding. Just 10 to 20 that might be nice enough to help me out. I'm not necessarily looking for people who would buy, just people nice like you to take a look. And by the way, I have a really awesome sponsorship that will help me out a lot. For every 50 sponsors I get, the company gives me a free piece of Cutco that I can add to my collection. And all you have to do to be a sponsor is just help me get to the first level at 5. See where it says point to rec sheet or show Google form right here? So one of the things I encourage you to do is just create a Google form, something that like this. This is all of y'all's top 10 lists. Right? I know a couple of people recommended people that are not in Tampa. That's what the red means. So if they weren't in the area or something like that, but or they were too young. But you create a top 10 list where you can put your customer's name, and then you have the name and number across. So what does it do? It shows social proof. That's what you want to do. You want to show social proof that people give you recommendations. That's this part. So you could point to a rec sheet or show a Google form and show the social proof that people give you recommendations. And if you get to 10, you become a double sponsor and count twice towards the sponsorship. So I have a pen and a piece of paper, or you could pull up helpmehitmygoal.com. So you could just put that up, helpmehitmygoal.com. So you could say, I have a pen and a piece of paper, or I have this pulled up on my screen right here. So let's start with the names and then come back to the phone numbers. So who are the nicest people you know? And by the way, most people put me on speakerphone while they scroll through their contacts. And you could just type in your name, like that's the customer's name, the representative email, so it emails to you, and then boom, name, number, who they are, name, number, relationship, and you just type it in. So you could just do it this way. This is really easy, but you pull this up and you do it for them. You type it in, or you pull up a Google form, like something like so, and you just put their name and, put their, how you know them, mom's friend, and then just boom, go through. By the way, all these bold on your top 10 list, these are people that we tried to call that did not answer their phone. So we're going to talk about that today on how you can help us get, maybe give them a heads up that I'm going to reach out to them. So that way, or just put us in a 3-way text message, just because there's so many that we can't contact them like all the time. So we'll do our best. So I'll cover that at the end of training today though, but that's just besides the point. But coming back to the actual approach, and then I'll answer any questions if you have any. So coming back to the actual approach. So what are the tips if you're taking notes? Number 1, they need to like you. So make your demo fun. Number 2, you need to express how important this is to you. It's very important. It really helps me out. The number 1 reason they're doing the demo with you in the first place is to help you out. So I know some of you are only getting 2 or 3 recommendations for an appointment. If you're only getting 2 or 3, you make me want to punch myself in the face. Because why? They literally have a cell phone of 100 to 200 people. They have a Facebook of 400 plus friends, and you're letting yourself get 2 or 3. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. When I was a student, I got 7,000 recommendations as a college kid. 7,000 to pay my way through college. Binders and binders full of recommendations. So all you're asking for is 5 to 10. Like, this is no big deal. You should be getting 10 to 20. And if you go to the sales leadership development meeting tomorrow, Andrew Evans is going to talk about his best tips on how to get 20, 30 recommendations every single time. Now, I'm not going to teach that today because I want to make sure we are fundamentally sound. But if you want some of the advanced fundamentals, he's the guy to really teach a lot of that to you. I mean, he's the division manager for a reason. So just something to think about. So tip number 1, make sure they like you. Tip number 2, make sure it's important. Tip number 3, you got to land the joke. 200 to 300 people. 200 to 300 people. I'm just kidding. Just 10 to 20. You got to land the joke. Some of you guys sound like this. 200 to 300, just kidding, 10 to 20. Some people don't even try to land the joke. Just give me a few people. I'll take a couple. And you use wimpy ass words. Don't be a wimp. No wimpy words. What's a wimpy word? Maybe, possibly, was wondering if you could. You sound like a wimp. Imagine if a dude was asking you out on a date, or, guy-girl example, and he's like, I was hoping you maybe might want to possibly go out with me sometime if you're open to it, maybe at some point, right? Like, it's not going to be effective. You want to be confident. So this phrase right here, so what I need you to do is grab your phone. Most of you feel uncomfortable saying that because it's a confident phrase versus you'll say, so I was hoping you might be able to grab your phone. So you wimp it down. Don't be a wimp. Don't change the words. Instead, smile through the words and say this. So what I need you to do is grab your phone and you smile through it because you could sound aggressive. So what I need you to do is go grab your phone. You could sound aggressive with that phrase, but smile through it and you can't sound aggressive. So what I need you to do is just grab your phone and you smile through it. Don't change the words. The words are perfect. land the joke. This word right here, might, most important word on this whole page. The reason why customers don't give you as many recommendations as you want is not because they don't give you a lot of recommendations. It's because you're asking them the wrong question. If Caden asks his customers, Miss Jones, can you give me some people I can show Cutco to? They're only going to give you a few because they might give you 0. Because they're like, I don't know who will agree to your appointment. I don't want to put that pressure on my friends, and I don't want to give you false hopes. So I can't give you guarantees because you ask for a guarantee. Who do you know that will do an appointment with me is a guarantee, and that's very tough. That's very high pressure to put on your customer. When you say, I just need a list of people who might possibly help me out, the response to that is, I'll give you a list, but I have no idea what they're going to say. Good luck, though. And isn't that what we want? Isn't that what you gave me? I said, I just want a list of people who might possibly need a job. Not people who definitely need a job, who might possibly be a good fit. And y'all recommended over 4,000 people to the job. Right? So we're not looking for definites, just possibilities. Think about it. Caden, what were you doing when you got the random text from us? We call it the random text of awesome from us when Nolan recommended you.
I was like, all right, like I was looking for work, so I was already interested, kind of, but
easy sale. So you make my point not
an easy one, yeah.
Thank you for that. And those are the easy scoop ups. So those are the signature sets you don't even have to work for. Those are awesome. Jacob, what were you doing when you got that random text from Lexia?
I think I was like just waking up. It was probably like 2 p.m. I was actually looking for a job at the time, and I had like maybe 4 or 5 interviews kind of just fall through, or they're just really bad jobs that, you know.
Do you think Lexi knew that? No.
Not, no.
No, because she recommended 200 people. She was just trying to win some free shit. All right. So bottom line is, the reason why is, and she might have, but I'm kind of being funny, but probably not. But the bottom, I could look at her top 10 list and see if you're on the top 10 list, then she liked you. If you weren't on the top 10 list, you were just in the mix of everyone else. So do you want to know if you made top 10 list or what?
I think I might have been, because I like skipped the whole like interview process or like the application process. So I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't mind.
You might have been you might have been on the top 10 then. But
Yeah.
That's really funny either way.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll look and then I'll let you know. Oh man, you were number 8.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you were number 8. Good.
That feels pretty good out of 200 people.
Hey, out of 200, you're number 8, so that's good. But the point I'm making here is, like, Jacob might have been the aftermath. Jacob was after 7 people. She's already like, yeah, these people are better than Jacob. And then, all right, fine, I'll write Jacob down, right? The point, obviously I'm making it funny for a reason. You want to make sure you ask them not for definites, just possibilities. You never know. You never, ever know. Number one, you never know what you could do for a friend. But number 2, just get possibilities. So don't put so much pressure on your customer by saying, hey, I definitely need a whole list of people who will definitely buy or who would definitely sit down with me. Hey, just, Miss Jones, just nice people who might take a look. Who might take a look. Say that with me. Who might take a look. Who might take a look, right? That's all you're doing is just possibilities. You just want possibilities. Who might take a look. That line is really, really important. When you talk about this sponsorship, to you, it sounds like, oh, it's just a free piece of Cutco. I want you to explain that free piece of Cutco like it is the best damn thing you've ever heard in your entire life. Like, how excited you get about that free piece of Cutco is going to determine how excited you get your customer about helping you win that free piece of Cutco. How can you rally that up for a cause? Ready? Here's a couple of ideas. Miss Jones, if you help me become a sponsor, when I get 50 sponsors, I get a free piece of Cutco, and I'm going to get my dad the fishing knife of awesome so he can have that for Father's Day. And I need to hit this before Father's Day so I could get him that gift. So if you can help me become a sponsor, my dad will have the best Father's Day ever. I'll give you another one. Miss Jones, if you help me by you helping me become a sponsor, when I get a free piece of Cutco, I'm actually going to sell it for cash, and I'm going to use that cash money to pay for books and school supplies. So by you becoming a sponsor, you're actually going to help me pay for a book next semester. How can you make the free piece of Cutco meaningful so that way you could get fired up about getting them to 5 or getting them to 10 on the spot so they become a sponsor? Does that make sense? Right? Get them hyped up about how can you make it meaningful so it matters, okay? And then when you put them into action, where it says, I have a pen and paper, who are the nicest people you know? We start with the names, get back to them, or so who do you know that's nice? By the way, most people just put me on speakerphone, scroll through their contacts, and what did I do? I waved my pen if I'm going to write it down, or I pulled it up on the share screen. I'm ready to type. Be ready to type. Be ready to write. It shows that you're expecting them to say yes. Now, if a customer ever says, oh, sweetie, I really can't think of anyone right now, that is not a cry for help. That is not a cry for help. That's not, they're not asking you to rescue them. That's not like, come help me think of people. What they're saying to themselves is, who do I know? Who can I think of? If you're taking a test and say, I can't, oh my God, I can't answer this. I can't figure out the answer to this. Or if you're playing a video game, like, I can't beat this guy. You're not asking your friend to come push you out the way to go beat the guy for you. It's not a cry for help. You're just expressing out loud. What you're really saying is, how can I beat this guy? How can I solve this test problem? So when your customer says, oh, I can't really think of anyone right now, what they're really saying is, who can I think of right now? So what do you need to do? You need to pause. Pause. Give them a few seconds. Don't respond. Just give them a few seconds to say their second or third thought. So by you just pausing and just waving your pen, just patiently waiting and not saying anything, watch what's going to happen. They're going to say one of two things. They'll just list off people, or they're going to break the awkward silence by saying something like, oh, I'll get you a list later though. And that's when you say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I would love a long list later, but could we just get those first 5 now just so I can get you to the sponsorship? It will only take a minute. And you just ask again with confidence, like we talked about in the beginning. Right? So right here, ask one more time after they finish. Thank you so much for thinking of that long list later. Do you think of just a few real fast? You're close to the sponsorship level and really help me out. It's only 5. Ask with confidence. You also want to get to know each person's, like who's their husband, what area of town do they live, so you know the time zones. If your kids started working with Cutco, who would you send them first, right? I want to know those. I want to star those people. I'll put a little star next to those people, right? That's kind of what I did. I have no shame here. The people that are, doing well, people that go to schools that I want to get into, I put little stars next to their name, right? Little stars, right? Because it's like, yeah, these are some of the schools that we want to get into, right? Now, there's some people that are from out of area, from different towns or whatnot. So I put little stars next to the names that I want to get into those schools, or I want to get recommendations into those areas for a reason, right? Same thing, where you want to get recommendations. So I would ask for certain areas. So if you're in Tampa, I would ask them, hey, who do you know that lives in Cheval or Avila, Hunter's Green, Davis Island, right? If you're in Pinellas, Bel Air Bluff, Bayou Club, right? Gulf Boulevard, the areas of your town that you want to get recommendations to, but you don't start there. You ask, get them thinking, and then ask for those once you get your first 5 or 10, and then ask for those areas that you want. And then you could ask, who do you know questions. So I know Katie's dream job is she wants to be a prosthetics and orthotics for pediatrics. So when Katie goes and talks to her customers, she'll say, by the way, who do you know that's in pediatrics? Or who do you know that works with prosthetics? And she could ask these questions to get more recommendations of people that are in her field of study. And you get more, and you get more, and you get more, but you got to get them to 5 or 10 first, or get them to start writing or typing, or you start typing first. So these are, again, some advanced recommendation tips that you could use. Then you ask them to send a text heads up to their friends. Miss Jones, it's a lot easier when people know I'm calling. Can you please send them a text with a heads up, just letting them know? This is not permission. This is a heads up. I said this to one of you earlier today. I said, if you were sitting in their house and 5 of their friends showed up, would they hide you in the closet and say, whoa, you got to hide in here. I have to ask them for permission before I could introduce you to them? Of course not. They're just going to introduce you. You don't need to ask someone for permission to introduce you to them. It's just an introduction. Just give them a heads up. I'll introduce myself, but if you give them a heads up, it makes it a little bit easier. It's more of a courtesy. And then you copy and paste that text message and send it to them and say, hey, can you just forward that to your friends? Can you forward that to the friends you just recommended me to? And then just shoot that heads up. And I have a nice young student named so-and-so. I would change that at my house. He showed me some cool kitchen stuff and is working towards a scholarship. Between you heads up, they referred you. Expect his or her call. Don't worry, no pressure to buy unless you like it. Simple. So let me come up for some air. Before I transition and teaching how to use Facebook, what are some things that showed up for you under this advanced recommendations workshop that is helping you, that you're like, okay, that was good. I needed to hear that. That's going to help me get some recommendations for my future appointments. I wasn't really doing that, or thanks for recommending, that was helpful. What showed up for a couple of you? Let me hear from a couple of you. So let's go Michaela and then Fernanda.
So I think one thing is not being so passive about it. Because I'm like, oh, if you could possibly give me some recommendations, that'd be awesome. And then like you get 1 or 2 and you're like, dang, like I wish I had at least 5. So I think that's one thing that could definitely be useful in the future.
Great. Yeah. And by the way, you don't have to be confident. Just pretend. Fake it until you make it. Fake it until you become it, right? What does a confident person do? They nod their head. They smile. They speak loud. They speak direct, right? Like just do what confident people do. On the inside, you're like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. But on the outside, you project confidence. They don't know the difference. Fernanda, what were you going to say? And then we'll go Meridian.
I was going to say that explaining like the value of the Cutco knife to you, and like especially like with like Mother's Day coming up, you can use that as like, oh, like I would really want this for my mom, and it's like I'm so close, but I feel like that could be really good.
Nice for getting the sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah. And remember, all you how the sponsorship works is you get 50 sponsors. So that's really every 5 is a sponsor. So what do you need? You need 50 5s or 25 10s. So you literally can go out this week, get 25 people to give you 10 recommendations each, and you'll have your sponsorship and you get a free piece of Cutco. It's really simple. And I saw, Marin, you were unmuted, but I wasn't sure if you were saying something or you were just unmuted from before.
I'll say something. I was very hesitant to ask people for like lots of recommendations because I didn't want to seem like super pushy, especially if I noticed that like they hadn't wanted to buy anything, and I just didn't want to seem like super pushy with them.
And that's where you were thinking in the past. What are you thinking now?
So now I see that like reading through the script, it's not necessarily being pushy, it's just asking them to help me out.
It's asking for a favor. What's the reason you're doing the appointment with them in the first place? What is the first thing you say? Hey, Ms. Jones, I have a favor to ask you, right? Like, can I do an appointment with you? Like, they're doing the appointment for you because they want to help you out. This is a perfect transition into my my chicken list workshop, but I want to tie a bow on this Facebook thing real fast, okay? If you're not getting Facebook posts, you are just like, I don't even understand what's happening. Now, if you don't have a Facebook yet, you need to create one ASAP. This is your business social media. Your customers are on Facebook, not your friends, but your customers, right? You got to get this Facebook post. So here's how it works. You say, Ms. Jones, I found that a lot of people have more friends on Facebook than in their phones. So I'm trying to work on my social media marketing and advertising too. So I'd love if you wouldn't mind putting a post up for me, introducing me to your Facebook friends. I'll send you a template of what you would post, and I'll also send you a photo of me. So all you would do is post a photo and a template as an introduction of me, and it will say if anyone is willing to help me out, they can like or comment below. Would you be nice enough to put that post up? It would mean the world to me. Great. I'll send you a friend request now. I'll send you the template and the photo, and you could tag me in the post with the @ sign since we're friends now. By the way, if there is a time where I'm able to, would it be okay if I sent messages to some of your friends on Facebook, introducing myself to them as well? Is that cool? Great. And this is the Facebook post to share. Who can help out? All question marks. Your name is working really hard towards the scholarship, and every appointment she makes helps her towards her goal. It's a simple presentation over the computer and for Cutco. The great thing is you're under no obligation to purchase anything. It helps her out either way. And I'm going to underline these hers, so that way if you're a boy, you know what to change, right? Helps her out either way. It's quite fun, and it's quite fun. If you think you might be able to help her out, please comment below, like this post, or message her directly at her name so she can contact you. Thank you for reading this and for your help. She insists on making her own money for college and not borrowing from her parents. She is one of our desperately needed entrepreneurs. Please make sure to reach out and help this hardworking student. She's a sweetheart, by the way. I'll tell you right now, all you have to do is just copy and paste this template and let them send that out with a picture of you. Watch how many people are going to like and comment that post. If you're doing 10 appointments a week, and if you have 5 moms do that post for you, you should be getting an extra 5 or 10 appointments a week extra just from Facebook posts. I know Katie's over here smiling. Katie got the neighborhood maven to do a Facebook post for her, right? So the neighborhood maven, a maven is the woman who knows everyone. And this woman put a Facebook post up for Katie. Do you know how many likes or comments so far? Now, she did her own post, but I'm curious on how many likes or comments so far. If you could give me a total on that.
Yeah, I didn't do the template because I didn't have it at the time, but
yeah, it's all good. Now we know for future appointments, though.
Right.
Right. And by the way, it wouldn't even hurt to ask if you said, hey, Miss Jane, thanks for that post. If I sent you a different template, would you mind updating the other template and just using this one? I'm not saying do that, but just an idea. And this is the direct message that you could send to all your mom's Facebook friends. Every one of your mom's Facebook friends, you could send this message to. Every one of your aunt's Facebook friends, you could send this message to. Even if you don't have their phone numbers, you could just send this message to them, introducing yourself.
she has nearly 1,000 friends, so a lot of people have seen it, but there's 7 people that have liked it and 1 person commented.
So there's 7 likes.
So
Think about it. There's 7 likes. So that means Katie has a customer that gave her a few recommendations, and she also got 7 new likes that Katie can now message and set up appointments with them now as well, because it says like or comment below if you're cool with Katie reaching out. Okay, so be sure to use the templates that we're giving you and be sure to follow through on this. I can't do your push-ups for you, but I hope that you guys are getting some value from this to implement into your businesses. Okay, under that umbrella, I want to transition into this chicken list concept of calling everyone. So Meridian, I want to ask you to repeat what you said before to strike the conversation up again. You said originally you were nervous and you were unsure because you felt like you didn't want to be pushy. And then what was your revelation today? Tell us about that.
So I realized that with the script, it's not necessarily being pushy. It's just asking them to help you out and do a favor for you. Just like when you ask them to do a favor for you by watching the presentation. It's not necessarily pushing them to do any extra big efforts.
Yes. So please, ladies and gentlemen, open up your eyes, ears, feet. If you have socks on, they're about to get knocked off. Okay, the socks are about to get knocked off. Welcome, Dom. Get ready for this, dude. It's about to be crazy. Okay. Here's the deal. To tie a bow on what we just talked about, this is what it looks like, just so you can see. Here's the photo. Here's the post. It's really simple. Okay. I want you to write this down. I want you to write this down. People like helping other people. Are you ready? People like helping people that are like themselves. Write that down. People like helping people that are like themselves. Ready? People like helping people that are like someone that they want to be. People like helping people that are like someone they want to be. So what does that mean? If you are talking to a mom and you know that the average mom, what they think about your age group, that you're lazy, that you want things handed to you, immediate gratification, sleep till 2 in the afternoon, play video games all day, right? No, you don't want responsibility. Like, that's the stereotype. Jacob was just demonstrating it before, right? I see him smiling, right? So that's the stereotype of what your parents' age group think about your age group. Everyone gets a trophy, right? You'll hear someone in your parents' age group say something like this. When I was your age, I actually had to work for stuff. When I was your age, not everyone got a trophy. We actually knew what it meant to lose, right? Like, this is the stuff you'll hear your parents' age group say. So when you have a hardworking young professional that's trying to do something different than their peers, they want to help you. And when someone helps someone else, we get a dose of a chemical in our brain called oxytocin. Have you ever held the door for a stranger? They say thank you and you feel good. Even though you helped them, you feel good because they were grateful for your help that you did for them. That's how the human brain works. We feel good when we do acts of kindness for other people. So if you give compliments, you feel good. You do acts of service, you feel good. So here's the thing. Those of you that have a tough time asking for favors, here's my thing I want to tell you. Don't be selfish. Because there's a lot of people in your life that would love to do a favor for you, but because you're too stubborn to let them, you rob them. You rob them of the gift of doing a favor for you. I could see the light bulbs going on. I could see it. Because overachievers, if you're on this Zoom right now, you're an overachiever. And overachievers are like, I want to do it on my own. I want to do it all by myself. I'm capable. Look at me. Because you're an overachiever. But the fact of the matter is there are a lot of people that would love to help your overachieving ass succeed. They would love to play a part in your success if you allow them to. So that friend that you're nervous to reach out to and ask them for a favor so you can get their mom's number to do an appointment with their mom, I bet there's a kid that's in your phone that would be like, wow, yeah, you never asked me for anything. I'd love to help you. Where your silly ass overachieving mind probably thinks, oh my God, they're going to judge me because I never call them. And I'm finally calling them and ask for something. And they're going to judge me, be like, you never asked me for anything. Now all of a sudden you need something, you're asking me for something. You only call me when you need something. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's not true. That's not the truth. What's the truth? The truth is that people like helping people that are like themselves, and people like helping people that are like someone they want to be. So I'm going to ask you to just kind of just risk the vulnerability and ask for favors. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? The worst thing that could happen is they say no. And in my opinion, that's not even that bad. Because the no only lasts like 5 seconds. If you ask a friend for their mom's number and they say no, know what's going to happen? They're just going to forget about it and they're going to go about their life. They're not. If you ask a friend's mom for a favor for a demo, know what's going to happen? Nothing. She's going to forget about you when she watches her next TV show, when she goes into whatever the hell she was going to do. And she's not going to sit around with her husband and be like, Harold, can you believe that kid Caden? Yeah. The kid, the baseball player kid. Yeah. That kid, he called and asked me for a favor. You believe these kids nowadays? They call and ask for favors because he wants to save money for college and stuff? Huh. Like I owe him anything. Freaking kids nowadays, the audacity. Yeah, your friend, little Susan. I don't even get him. You keep sleeping until 2 in the afternoon playing your video games and getting high, drunk, and not doing shit while kids are out there asking for favors. I can't believe these kids nowadays. And I see a couple of you laughing because but it sounds so stupid, but that's what your mind says to you. Literally, your mind says stupid shit like that to you, and you believe it. So I would write this down. I don't need to believe every thought I have. It's a very profound sentence, but you don't need to believe every thought you have, especially if they don't serve you, especially if they don't serve your business. So think about the thoughts that serve you, like, hey, I got nothing to lose. Hey, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Right? Like, these are thoughts that actually help. Where does confidence come from? Confidence comes from when you keep promises you made to yourself. That's where confidence comes from. And you want to develop self-confidence? Keep promises you made to yourself. You promised that you were going to make this work. You promised you were going to dedicate yourself to this. You promised you were going to help your parents with money. You promised you were going to pay for your own education. You promised you were going to be financially independent. So keep those promises by asking for favors, because that's really all we're asking you to do. Ask for some favors. Some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? Some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? Toughen your skin a little bit. Start reaching out to people. Ask your friends for the parents' numbers. Ask people, ask your teachers for a demo. Ask your professors for an appointment. Sit down with your mom and say, listen, mom, let's go through your cell phone and write down every single person that you haven't given me yet. What? Yeah, I'm just going to introduce myself to them and see if they might be nice enough to help me out. I'm okay if they say no to me, but at least I wouldn't forgive myself if I didn't at least try. Mom, I don't want you to give me another $1 again. I just want your cell phone contacts. I'll make my own money. I'll make my own money. Don't give me $1 for the rest of my life. Make me earn my own money. I would say 10 out of 10 of your parents hear you say that shit. They're going to be like, high five, let's go. I don't have to give you $1. You make your own money. I'll give you the contacts. If you frame it in that way, like, I want to earn my own independence. Let me go do this, but I need your help. Be willing to ask that question. Be willing to risk the no. Because ready and I'm going to start winding up with this. Okay, ready? I have a book. I have actually 9 books, but this was my #1 bestseller right here. And in this book, I put a story about me when I was in middle school, having a crush on a girl. Her name was Rachel, and I had a crush on this girl, Rachel. And I used to practice in the mirror, asking her out on a date with me. I would practice. It's adorable. I know. Mike Abramowitz in middle school. It's adorable. That's the reason why I didn't get the date, by the way. So I would practice this. I would rehearse it. And I kept role playing in my head, but it was always me getting rejected. And I was always scared. And one day I watched my buddy Joe Nagy ask her out on a date. And she said yes. And they dated. And I secretly hated Joe and Rachel. I had a grudge on both of them. I was like, stupid idiots, whatever. I didn't want the date anyway. So the point that I'm making to you is we miss the shots we don't take anyway. If I actually just asked Rachel out on a date, if I said, hey, Rach, I was going out for dinner on Friday night anyway. I'd love to get to know you a little bit better. You want to join me for dinner Friday night? If she said no, I'm still eating alone. So my life didn't get worse. I literally stayed the same. My life didn't get worse. If she said yes, great, I got a date. So what if you understood the concept of rejection isn't real? That my life either stays the same or I get what I want. It stays the same or I get what I want. There's no such thing as setbacks. There's no such thing as rejection. It's not real. If you ask your friend for their mom's number and they say no, you still didn't have the mom's number. You're right where you were before you asked. If you're gambling in Vegas and went all in, and the worst thing that happens is you get your money back, best thing that happens, you win the jackpot, wouldn't you go all in every single time? Every time. So you have nothing to lose, but you have a chance at gaining something. Rejection is not real, except someone might say, well, what about my ego? What about my dignity? If you're tying your dignity to someone else's response, it's not theirs to have. That's for you to own. Don't tie your dignity to the reaction or the results of anything outside of your own world. Keep that to you. Be unattached. You think this is Mike talking about selling knives. You're missing it. You're missing it. This whole stump speech is all about personal and professional growth. It's about becoming a person worthy of making a $1,000 paycheck. That's what this is about. Become a person worthy of earning a $1,000 paycheck in 1 week, not for a summer, in 1 week. You go out this week and sell $6,000, you make a $1,000 paycheck, even if you sold nothing so far. How do you sell $6,000? Well, do the math, work it backwards. That's 15 sales. How do you get 15 people to buy Cutco this week? Show 20 people Cutco. How do you show 20 people Cutco? Do 10 between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and do 10 between Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Do 10 and 10. 10 Tuesday through Friday, 10 Saturday through Monday. Get 15 of them to buy. An average order of $400. You sell $6,000, you make a $1,000 paycheck. Be worthy of that by calling everyone, by reaching out to everyone, asking for favors. So what I want to do is I want to begin kind of wrapping up, and I want to give you homework. Okay, I'm going to give you a homework assignment, and all of you should have a call set up. Does anybody not have a call set up with Amanda or Jessica tomorrow? Does anybody not have a call set up yet? You need to arrange a call with one of those two girls tomorrow. Okay, they should have sent you their link, okay, for you to click and find a time. You need to have a time for them because they're going to pick up off of this conversation to talk a little bit about some of this stuff and review your homework, okay? And your homework, I'm going to send you a thought joggers list, okay? I'm going to send you a thought joggers list. And the thought joggers list is to help you brainstorm all the people that you could potentially do an appointment for. You could potentially do an appointment for. Okay, now I'm going to pull that up. And I'm going to post that link and I'll send it over to you right now. Whoops. So it's saved as a PDF. So I have to download it, I guess, or something. Let me see. All right, let's see if I send this. Someone click this link and see if you can see if it pulls it up. Someone click that and see if it pulls up the document. Can I get verification that it pulls up this document? I can't see everyone, but it does not work.
No, the link doesn't work. It doesn't actually allow you to interact with it. It's just
okay. Cool. So I'm gonna just I'm just gonna download it and I'll just send you. I'll send it to the WhatsApp group right now. So I'll download it. I'll send it to the WhatsApp group. But this document is a thought jogging activity that is your homework for you to brainstorm, continue brainstorming and adding people to that list that we went through in training. I want you to keep adding to that list and keep thinking of all the possibilities that you could do appointments with. Most of you came up with 30, 40, 50, 100 people that you could do appointments with. And now it's just a matter of asking for phone numbers. Wednesday night is your big phone jam. And I want you to be equipped and ready for that phone jam. So I want to make sure that you have all of your names and phone numbers, everyone organized, ready to go, and you're feeling good for that situation. So just so I'll pull up this document just so you can see it one more time of what it looks like. And I'll share my screen. And then I'll start wrapping up. So it looks like this. So it has all these different ideas of people that you could reach out to. All these different ideas. I want you to make a giant, giant list of all these people, of possibilities, and then go on a scavenger hunt for their phone numbers or finding them on Facebook. So that way you can just have a long list ready to go. I challenge you, could you get to 100? You know, and it's not right away, but you just want to get 100 in queue as fast as possible. I also challenge you, if your schedule allows, could you do 10 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those 4 days, and could you do 10 on Saturday, Sunday, Monday to finish off your fast start? But tomorrow, your coach is going to map out a schedule with you that you're going to create agreements with that works for your next week, Tuesday through Monday. I don't care how many appointments you do. You're going to make the schedule with them, whatever feels good, whatever your goals are, however much money you want to make, and all that stuff. Okay. Who would like to share their biggest takeaway from my little stump speech before I wrap up our session today?
I was
about chicken list and whatnot.
Yeah. What you did say about the rejection thing, just like, I don't know, just created explosions in my head. Because what you did say is like, you're not losing anything when you get rejected. It's either life stays the same or you get what you want, and it makes a whole lot of sense. Because even if you don't get what you want, you're still the same without it. But if you do have it, like, hey, you know.
Yeah, great point, Anthony. Thank you for that. Janaya, did I mess that?
Yeah, you
Did
got
I say it right this time?
Yeah, you got it.
Awesome, Janaya.
Okay, my takeaway was really with the rejection and like the mentality of it, because that's me thinking, oh, I haven't called this person in like 2 years. They're gonna think I'm calling when I need something, and it's like, I'm sorry, I just need help with this one thing. And also just thinking like rejection stops me from doing certain things because I think it's gonna change my life. But you put it in perspective that like nothing changed. I'm still the same. Either I get what I want or life stays the same. So I think that was a really good takeaway.
Love that.
Confidence.
Thanks for sharing. We'll take let's take one or two more. Let's go to Dom and then Katie.
Oh, so I'm reading this book right now, right? And it's called Ego is Your Enemy. And it was just really synchronous to hear you say that like the one thing that actually stops you from pushing that forward is that rejection thing, which comes from like your ego, right? You're afraid your ego is going to get bruised. You don't want to like take the risk, but you're not actually doing anything that you wouldn't have done before. You know what I mean? Like you're not losing your place. So I appreciated that.
Yeah, risk first reward. Risk first reward. Absolutely. Love that concept. Katie, take us home and then I'll wrap up.
The best takeaway I had was don't believe every thought you have. And that goes for not only selling, but also in life. And so that's my biggest takeaway, is because believing every thought you have will lead to sometimes misery and a not good place. But by just believing what you help us believe is really good.
Especially because 97% of our thoughts are about the past, and we have about 50,000 thoughts a day according to studies. So therefore, if it's a painful past that we consistently relive over and over again, man, that's what creates that downward cycle of angst and worry, all those heavy emotions that we try to not experience often. But what brings the higher emotions, the higher frequencies, the confidence, the excitement, the joy, euphoric, all of that, it comes from doing the tough. It comes from doing the challenge. It comes from those higher frequencies. So that's not knife talk. I mean, I just kind of love that stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge all of you for giving me several hours. This is our last session that we have together. This is our only session, actually, because we had a bunch of group on the other one, and we'll have a large group on Wednesday night again with the rest of our team. And I just want to acknowledge all of you because I know that this is a weird knife job, and this is just a temporary thing for many of you. But I really hope that by you working with us and you continuing to challenge yourself and continue to get paid what you're worth, and making that first comma paycheck and like advancing within the company and continuing to thrive, that you just become a better version of you. So when you are done working with us and you're done with college and whenever that is, that you're just better because you worked as a game changer. Like that's our mission. And oftentimes the only way to get better is you must go through the tough. And I want to acknowledge you for being willing to do that, because right now, many of you exams, it's a lot of hours, unpaid trainings, all this stuff. You might hear it from your parents, you might hear it from your friends, like all that. Like I get it. I heard all that. And that's what kept me moving forward. And that's why I'm here with you. That's why your coaches are working their ass off to make sure that you're having a great experience. And we want to make sure that you're having a great experience. So I acknowledge you. I appreciate you. And I just want to wrap up with a couple of quick announcements and some assignments. So announcement number one, the Sales Leadership Development Meeting May 5th, 3 to 6 p.m. That's tomorrow. I was texting Mr. Andrew Evans, and he usually has a minimum sales requirement to attend this meeting. Usually he has a minimum sales requirement. He said, due to it being early in the summer, he is willing to waive the sales requirement for this meeting. So all he wants is someone who has a open mind and a ready to learn attitude, with someone who's excited to learn and excited to grow. They could join this 3-hour session with Andrew. Now, if you don't know who Andrew Evans is, I know he ran part of the training, but this is the guy who was rated top 25 under 25 by Yahoo. The top entrepreneurs in North America to look out for in 2020. If you haven't listened to his podcast, Ace Weekly, I think he's up to 1 million downloads on his podcast. So this is unreal. This is a kid who, call him a kid, he's 24, but he graduated with 3 degrees, but he had companies offering him 7-figure opportunities within his first 5 years. And he turned him down to stay here because he wanted to impact young people. And this was a better platform to going into corporate world. And he's still going to go into corporate world eventually, but he still has more work to do here for young people. And it's just such an admirable direction and path that he's on. And if you get 3 hours of this guy, mark my words, when he, in 5 years from now, 6 years, he might not be a actor. He's probably going to be getting paid $30,000 to give a speech to an auditorium filled with 30,000 people. So you want to capture his attention now while he's still in our space, while he's still working in our company, because who knows? I mean, he's here now, so we want to capture it. So make sure you communicate with your coach on getting that link and getting a formal invitation to that meeting tomorrow. It's only 3 hours, but it could set yourself up for a very, very exciting path through the rest of your fast start. A couple other quick announcements and assignments. The next one is be ready to pass a skills check on closing and recs. So on Saturday morning, we are doing a closing and recommendations drill for skill. Now, it's not mandatory, but success is not mandatory either. So on Saturday morning at 10 a.m., myself and all of us coaches are going to be on Zoom doing break rooms, drilling and quizzing you on your closing and your recommendations to see how well you are. And we're going to give you a letter grade, A, B, C, D, or F. Some of you might avoid that. You might be like, I don't want to do that shit. Some of you will be like, hell yeah, let's go. I need to get quizzed. I need to get better. So I highly recommend you to take advantage of us for doing that for you on Saturday at 10 a.m. The next one is complete 4 demos. I'd like for you to complete 4 appointments before Wednesday at 4 p.m. That's the next time I see you. And the reason why I want you to do 4 before Wednesday at 4 is to implement everything we just learned and we talked about today. Wednesday night is the only night of the week that we have the entire team together. So Wednesday night is your chance to make your first impression. We'll see you how Wednesday will unfold. It's from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock is wave 1. We'll have a couple of workshops, and then you'll make phone calls. Then we have the whole division. There's like 250 people on the Zoom together for about 20, 30 minutes. Then we get back to making phone calls. And then we have our office, only our whole team at 8:30, where we get together and I have important announcements, recognition, what's working, best practices. So you want to mark off Wednesday from 4 o'clock to 9:30. Just have it marked off. 4 to 9:30 on Wednesday. If you have a conflict with that, make sure you let your coach know ASAP. But every Wednesday night from 4 to 9:30, we're flexible, but we need a notice. I'm telling you, if you text me last minute and be like, Mike, I have something come up, you're probably going to be transferred to another team that could accommodate your non-reliable schedule or non-ability to communicate, or we'll just take you off base pay and you just work as a commission-only rep. But we just need to make sure that we're communicative with one another. So, and I'm not going to have to twist your arm. I mean, Wednesdays are freaking awesome. You'll see this week. I mean, Wednesday nights are awesome. No hype. I mean, you'll love it. And then update your queue. Make sure your queue is up to date with 30 to 50 numbers. Get your directories. Every morning at 9 a.m., every day, we have an elevation series. I saw a few of you on that workshop this morning. That was a proud papa moment. I love that. I saw 1 or 2 of you rookies on that morning workshop this morning and yesterday morning. So kudos to you, a couple of you rookies, willing to step up your game and be, and elevate by waking up early. It's 9 a.m. Just join this Zoom link. It's really simple. I also want to wrap up with a couple of last minute announcements. We have the Team Builder contest. Here's the cool announcement that I wanted to share with you. All of you have these top 10 lists and all these people that you recommended. We can't get to every one of them, but here's what I want. I want you to go through, and if you have your top 10 list, but like, Edgar, we appreciate this, but we haven't even done anything with these because we don't have their phone numbers, right? If you want us to get in touch with some of these people, the easiest thing to do is just put them in a 3-way text message with us. And we'd love to help you win some free stuff. Put them in a 3-way text message with me or Amanda or Jessica or any of the coaches. But here's the best part. Ready for this? No height. If you have a friend that completes training this week, I will give you an extra $1,000 credit towards your Fast Start contest. Right here. So if you sell $1,000 and get me 2 friends, I'll buy you the rest of your Homemaker set. You have 3 friends that complete training this week, boom, that's $3,000, you win all this. You get me 6 friends and you sell the rest, boom, you get all this Cutco. $2,000 in Cutco for free. Now, the region trip over here, I have it hidden. You can get a maximum of 2. So for the $500 cash bonus, if you sell through $13,000 and get 2 friends, then that counts. Or you could sell $18,000 and get 2 friends, and then you win the trip to Cancun, Mexico. So bottom line is, I'm going to stick around for a couple of minutes. I'll stick around for probably about 15 minutes. So if you have some friends that you want me to connect with, I have an interview tonight at 6 o'clock. I can put them right into my 6 o'clock interview tonight. I have another interview tomorrow I can put them into. If you're on here, I want to work with your friends. So if any of you have to hop off, you have to jump, like, let's go rock your appointments, go sell some knives, go hit your promotions. But if you have a couple minutes right now to help us do some team building, put them in a 3-way text message with me. I'll put my cell phone number here. You can just put them right in a 3-way text. I'll call them right now and I'll set them up for interviews. And all you got to do is in the 3-way text, just say, hey, Mike, this is my friend, Jake. I know you're hiring. I just wanted to introduce you to Jake. That's it. Something simple. You don't have to do much. In fact, I'll even post to you what Adriana put me in a few text messages. Here, this is what Adriana did. So, hey, Jess, I want to introduce you to my manager. I think he'd be great for an opening we have on our team. He'll give you all the details. Good luck. That's it. If you do that, that'd be really helpful. That way we can hit our goals that we have as a team, but with really good people. So I will pause the recording.